There we go. All right, making sure it works. Question: what to do if me and a girl like each other and have invested so much in someone, but okay, then you cut off. She don't want a relationship. Okay. Question for you is: why did you invest so much before you knew whether or not she wanted a relationship? Because that comes across as like, oh, I invested so much to try to convince her to get into a relationship. That never works. And if it does work, it doesn't work with the person you want it to work with. But guys, if you want me to speak directly to your issue, just hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you on the live and we'll talk about your problems. All right. We'll provide some solutions. If it's been almost a month, should I just move on or fight? Is it like y'all broke up and it's been over a month? Been almost a month. I need more context, bro. You got to tell me a bit more than that. That's not enough information. If you want to come up to the live, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you up. We can talk about it. I can get more details, tell you exactly how to play it. How concerned should I be about age gaps? I'm 47 and he's 34. That's not that big a deal. Age gaps don't really matter as much after 25. We got to call her Koki. And we got to call her. Let's see if she connects. How do I discern between I'm trying to self-regulate and I'm accepting less than I should? I need you to clarify. I don't know if I understand the question. Not understanding how self-regulation is connecting with accepting less than you should. Do you mean you're with somebody who's triggering you, like triggering your nervous system? So maybe you're anxiously attached and you're with someone who's moving in an avoidant way and you're getting activated. So you're trying to regulate yourself, but you don't know if regulating yourself is putting you in a situation where you're just with someone who is a bad fit. Is that the question? Hello.
Hello?
What's going on, man?
Um, Not much, man. I just want to ask a question to you, bro. And my question is, man, so I didn't have confidence like that. A lot of women feel like I'm very good looking. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I always went for the girls who just made it easy for me. I never was a guy who walked up really, girls would approach me and talk to me like that. But now I'm paying bills, I got my money together, a nice car and stuff, and I want a better looking woman, and as fucked up as that sounds, I want a beautiful woman, but um, I'm just not the best at walking up and I'm not the guy who goes out to the clubs and bars and don't drink and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I'm kind of in a tough spot. Like, what advice would you have for me to?
I got you. Okay, so what are you good at? What are your hobbies like?
Play basketball. I'll be playing the game for real, Call of Duty, fashion, stuff like that.
You said fashion? So
Yeah.
you dress
I
really
mean,
well?
yeah. I dress really, really well. Yeah.
Like, do you think you dress really well, or like people constantly tell you dress very well?
People tell me I try to put that shit on every time.
There we go. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, do you post it anywhere?
A little bit on like Facebook, a little bit. I gotta do better with social media. I don't know. I don't like when my likes is not up to par, and I be like, fuck it, let me delete that shit.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So,
That's going to be your strongest play, social media. That's going to be your strongest play. You have a marketing problem, right? So
Yeah.
like, I try to think of ways where we can provide some degree of scalability to like a dating situation, right? So the reason why I asked you is like what your hobbies are and what you're good at is because competence is attractive, right? When you're good at something. So I'm trying to see what activity would frame you in your most attractive light. So that's where I'm starting from. And you said fashion. That's a good one, right? So if you're already into fashion and styling yourself and putting that shit on, as you said, how can we display that to as many people as possible? Social media is going to be the answer. If you can start posting like TikToks or, Instagram reels with like you dressing well, you'll start to get the attention of the type of women that you want.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's more efficient than you going up to one woman after another. You can still do that. Like the answer is both, right? So like you can still approach women, but that's going to be a more of an uphill battle than doing what I'm telling you. It may take a little bit longer to get results, but once the asset is built, it's built.
Okay.
Right? Dating apps serve the same function. The problem with dating apps is the women there are in like a shopper's mentality. The best time to like get a woman's attention is like when she's not looking for somebody, right? When she's not actively looking, because then she's shopping, then she's like measuring the different like variables and being very meticulous about who she's going to deal with and probably intentionally talking to multiple people. It's best to kind of get her attention when she's just living her life.
Okay.
Easier transition, right? So you could do dating apps too, but social media is superior to dating apps. Think of every social media as a dating app, because it is. They are. They're all covert dating apps. Including TikTok. All of them serve the same function. Okay, so you start posting your fits, doing that consistently. You also put yourself in a situation where that helps with your hobby, right? Because like if you get a little bit of a following, even like a micro following, like 10,000 followers, right? You'll start getting brands sending you their clothing.
Oh wow.
That's a two birds, one stone play.
Yeah, and I tried the dating apps. I get a lot of like, is he a catfish or is he not? Type deals when I try dating apps because I got some professional photos and stuff.
Yeah.
Dating apps don't really work either. But yeah, I can definitely start doing the social media thing though, like just posting.
Yeah, but again, the answer is both. You still want to be in a position to where like you can go up to a woman and create attraction just off a conversation. Still do that. That skill set takes time to get good at, and you have to approach a lot of women to start getting results. Half the women are going to have relationships. Half of them are going to have situationships. Right? They're just not going to have even if they are attracted to you, they're not going to have the capacity to deal with you. The more efficient strategy is going to be what I just told you. So that's the priority. So I would treat that as the priority. And then secondarily, I would go out and still like work that social muscle. All right.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, thanks so much, man.
No problem, brother. Keep me posted on how it goes. All right.
All right.
All right. Ebony is back.
Can you hear me good?
A little off, but I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm gonna piggyback off what the guy just said.
Okay.
Do you believe that a woman should be with a man on the come up because, like he just said, he got his money up, and the women that he used to date, he no longer want to date those type of women.
Mm-hmm.
He want to date better looking women, which mean the women that was approaching him, he really didn't see that it was on a level that he would want to be with if he was at the height of his career and his finances.
Yeah.
So, do you think that as women, we should continue to date men who already established and not settle for men on the come up because, like the man just said, he got his money up, he's better, he don't want to date the other type of women he used to date. He want to date better looking women.
That's a good question. I mean, you do run that risk as a woman, 100%. You absolutely run that risk. That's the interesting thing because like people like to debate who has it harder, men or women. It's like we both have it difficult in different ways because the dynamics are different. But it is a difficult thing. But you gotta look at the nuance too, right? So I don't know the guy who was just on the call, but he's not in a situation, from what I gather, where he was with somebody, went on the come up, and then he broke up with the person that he was with so he can get a better person, right? He just happens to be single after the come up. So now he wants to deal with women who are more attractive, right? I think what you're trying to avoid is a situation where you're with a man and he's on the come up, and then once he arrives, he ends things with you or cheats on you for women who he perceives to be of higher quality, right?
Yeah, but so should you even date a guy who's like on the come up, like he's not where he wanted to be at right now?
Yeah, you can.
To take that risk.
You can, but it's like it's no matter the situation, anybody can cheat on you. Anybody can break up with you, right? So like I would agree with the reasoning if the only times women were cheated on or broken up with was in this situation. But that's not the case. Mm-hmm. You could get with a guy who's already established, he'll still cheat on you. He'll still leave you for someone else. Like, you're not avoiding anything, right? Mm-hmm. And there are women who have come up with their men and they're still together, right? You look at a Barack and Michelle, they're still together. He wasn't the president when he met Michelle Obama, right? So I know
they had a goal in mind.
They did, but it's like, well, then get people who have a goal in mind, get people who are more mature, right? Because those mindsets kind of go together. So it's really ultimately a discerning thing. It's an issue of discernment, right? So it's like you get someone who has the qualities that overlap with longevity in a relationship, you kind of mitigate that negative outcome.
Yeah,
right.
Because now that I'm in the gym, I'm no longer attracted to what I used to be attracted to. So now my type and my taste change for men. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that happened when men get money too. Like, you're exposed to different types of women. So it does.
Yeah,
happen.
But it doesn't factor into the equation of like you bonding with the person that you're with. Mm-hmm. Again, you are also in a situation where like you got into the gym, but you also got into the gym when you were single. Mm-hmm. So now you're in a situation where you're not really connected to anybody, so you're just open to the options. You see now you can probably pull a higher quality option, or you change in just what you value and you go with men who now value that thing. But if you were in a relationship already, you would have to factor into the equation like you being bonded and attached to the person that you're with.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it is different, which I feel like it's different right now. Like right now, I'm still, like, the guy I'm dating, I don't even know if I want to continue.
Why?
I don't know.
You gotta know. What do you mean you don't know?
I'm not, I feel like I'm not where I need to be. Okay, do you think a woman should be dating if she's not financially stable? I don't think so.
I think you're sabotaging. That's what I think. I think the financial stability thing, like it's not like you lost financial stability when you met him, right? You probably were already in that state, and it was cool, right? You were dating him. Now y'all getting closer. That's probably scary. So now you're looking for a reason to dip out, and what you've latched onto is that you're not financially stable.
I just feel like I'm not where I would want to be, and I don't know. I don't want to put that all on somebody.
I'm telling you, you're 100% sabotaging. 100%.
I'm stressed right now. My CMOS gel just bust. I'm aggravated. But okay, so you're right. Maybe I am because I'm ready to just end it.
Yeah, you're ready to run. Because there's nothing wrong with him. He's been being consistent. He's been showing up in a healthy way. You maybe not be used. You're probably not used to that. You already said this was you're fearful avoidant, right?
Yeah.
So you know you got a pattern to run when things get close.
Yeah.
But that's how you run. Just understand, anytime you run, you always have a justifiable reason to do so. If you're avoidant or fearful avoidant, when you run, there's always a reason that makes sense to you to do it. But unconsciously, what's really happening is you are perceiving a threat and you're trying to get away from it. So your brain just looks for something, looks for a reason to justify it.
Because he did call me with the. Remember I told you how he went to the training for the teacher? He called me on his lunch break and we talked for an hour. You know, like, he's consistent. He calls and check in and stuff. I don't know. Like, I think when it's time to get like close to a relationship and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just starting to get like scared because I be feeling like, dang, what if they see like the real me? Like,
yeah,
I don't want you to see the real me. Like,
yeah,
if you still gonna like me for me, want you to see the real me.
I understand. It feels very scary, and I know that fearful avoidants tend to hide the real them for a little while, right? Or let you see a piece of it, so you feel like you're not enough, and you're trying to avoid him rejecting you. So you're essentially trying to take back control, right? But I need you to hear me though. Until you face this fear, you're gonna always do this. You're gonna always do it.
I really like him, but I'm scared because I don't want to come on too strong, or I don't want to be like too much. Because I know when I like a person, you know, I'm not clingy or nothing, but I'm very affectionate.
Yeah.
And he's like more calm, laid back. But I mean, so far, I guess he liked me. I just be feeling like I need that more reassurance, and then I don't release control, meaning I let go of the control because I can be controlling and bossy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Leo, and we tend to be like bossy and stuff like that. But signs or not, but I release control and I let him just, you know, lead the way, let him be his own person. But then I get scared, like, do he really like me? I don't know. Even if he give me compliments, did he really mean it? It's like all this just stays apart in my head.
Yeah. You can't trust your thoughts, love. Not in this situation. You can't trust them. They're going to mislead you in that situation, right? Like we talked about it. He's already showing you time and time again. He's being consistent with you. He's trying to see you, right? He's making time his schedule. He's checking on you. You know, he's showing you all the signs that he really rocks with you. It's just hard for it to land because you don't want to believe it. Because if you believe it, then it means like, you know, this is becoming real, right? And if this is becoming real, then that means you could be hurt. And you don't want to be hurt. So you rather sacrifice it than be hurt. But again, you got the way that you start to heal this is you gotta lean in during these types of times. You gotta lean in, because if you run now, you're just like, you don't know when you're gonna run into somebody like this again. There ain't a lot of guys like that.
I feel like I have been running into a lot of guys who want to commit with me, but I just pull away because I feel like, oh my God, you coming off too strong. Like, oh my God, like, dang, you really like me that much? Like, relax. Like,
but this guy is more balanced with it though.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about the guys who are like anxious, like pursuing you, trying to lock you down aggressively. I'm talking about guys who can be cool with you or without you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's definitely him.
Yeah, that's the person you want. The one that like, I can take it or leave it. Like I'm here because I choose you, right? I want you. I don't need you though, right? So them type of guys is rare. That's a rare guy.
Yeah, he's one of the type of guy, he be to himself. He don't mind being to himself and being by himself. Like, he's not desperate for a connection, but he's letting it grow. And then I asked him a question. I was like, do you view sex and intimacy the same? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, that's good. So
yeah. So I would implore you to fight this instinct. just know that that part of you that's trying to make you run is trying to protect you from pain, but it's also in the process of doing so, preventing love from happening.
Yeah.
Right? So this will be probably something you regret on the back end. You've probably done that before. You probably ran from somebody and then on the back end regretted it, right? Like,
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
that same thing's gonna happen here, I promise you.
yeah. I'm trying to fight the urge to run away, because I started looking for little things like, oh, this person don't like me, or and they just I started nitpicking, and I don't know.
You should. I would even tell you to share this with him, because you probably struggle with vulnerability too. And sharing this with him will be you taking a step in the right direction, because you will be doing something that you're afraid of doing, and he's more than likely going to respond to you being vulnerable in that way very positively, which will cause you to trust him a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I would start with that. I would start by just being vulnerable about the fear that you have. Let's be vulnerable with him. Based on how you describe him, he's gonna hold space for you and understand, and probably give you that reassurance that you need. And then you'll learn that, being vulnerable doesn't create a bad situation. Like, it's actually a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try.
Just try it. Just try it.
I don't want to put all that on him. We only been talking for like a month now. I
Yeah.
don't want to put all that on him.
I get it.
Oh, another question. I'm still learning the timelines with dating, so
Mhm.
I feel like I'm coming in these month situations thinking everything should be up front.
What do you mean?
Because I'm still carrying that 5-year relationship energy. So like I feel like, oh, it's a month. It's not moving how I wanted to move it. They're not coming like this, and they're not coming like that. But I gotta remember, oh, all that stuff takes time.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's another thing that's holding me back, because I be thinking, oh, everything should come fast within a month or 3 months, but it don't work like that.
Right.
I'm coming in with this relationship energy, like they supposed to show up in this type of way. I'm supposed to be a priority, but I gotta remember, oh, it's only been a month. I'm not supposed to be a priority within a month.
Especially with men and women who are more psychologically healthy and secure.
Yes.
They tend to move slower.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. So, okay. So what should I be looking for within 3 months?
You don't even have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Just be in the present. Like this, you're with the person. If he continues to see you and continues being consistent, he's gonna progress it naturally.
Okay.
He's gonna progress it naturally. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to live in the future. Just live in the now. Right?
Yeah, because he told me one of his deal breakers is like women who do too much.
Say it again.
He said one of his deal breakers was like women who do too much. Like they don't know how to chill and relax, like, and enjoy silence.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, dang, that used to be me.
Yeah. Keyword used to. It ain't you no more, right?
That's not me. No. That's
There we
not
go.
Me. Now I'm trying to stay grounded and stay present and enjoy the moment.
That's
like,
right.
I let him text me, call me, you know. So I just let go of control.
Okay. Well, yeah. Keep me posted.
No, that's still you. No, it's not me. I would be over here asking coach, I messed up. What should I do now? But no, I'm trying to prevent all those things.
Hey, you're good. You're good. So just keep on pacing it. Keep on connecting. Try to be vulnerable with them, like I said, whenever you feel like that's the right time. But you're good. Just don't freak yourself out, all right?
Okay, thank you.
All right, Ebony. You take care.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah. I want to ask a question. Is it possible for somebody to kind of go on a date without going out? I'm not this kind of a person. I'm this kind of a person that hates going out.
I didn't hear the
I
question.
just love staying indoor. But I want to go into it. I want to be in a relationship.
Okay, ask your question again.
I'm this kind of a person. I'm an indoor kind of a person. I hardly go out.
Okay.
I prefer staying indoor. Maybe from work back home, from church back home.
Okay.
But I post my pictures online. But going out as in going out to make friends, I kind of find it difficult mixing up.
Okay.
I don't really know if that is the thing affecting my relationship. I've been into one or two relationships, right? But they ended up fucking up. I will take time to study them. After studying them, maybe if they've kind of captured my heart, they'll end up fucking up. I feel like if you are too good or too nice to a guy, they kind of tend to take ride of you.
Okay.
So I don't want to be the bad girl because I'm not the bad girl. But it seems the bad way of getting into a relationship is playing the hard kind of a person.
Okay,
And
love.
I'm
What
not that
what
kind of
what is
person.
what is your question?
I feel like guys prefer babes that are hard, as in playing hard to get.
Love.
I'm
What
not that
what
kind of a person.
what
I'm
is
a
your
soft-hearted
what
person.
what is your question? I need you to ask a question. Keep making statements. What is your question?
My question is it possible for somebody to kind of get into a relationship with or without going out?
It's possible. It's
I
not.
hate going out.
It's possible. It's not very likely.
So if one must go out.
That certainly helps. It's helped for all of human history.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
But most of my friends will tell me that you staying indoor, where would the guy come from? You have to go out to mix with other guys. I don't go clubbing. I don't, except for church or maybe when I'm off to work. Aside that, I hardly go out. But once in a while, I take myself out on a date on my own. Sit, eat, and come back home.
Okay. Well, I've answered your question, love. So if you don't have another question, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get to another caller. All right. You have a good one.
Okay.
All right. Who we got next? Artesia.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm gonna make this quick. So, I just recently started dating someone new. It's only been official for 4 weeks, but he's been courting me for 9 months, consistently. He's a great guy. He has all the great qualities. I do care for him. I do have feelings for him. The season that I am in right now, I'm looking to develop discipline, structure, and just evolve my own individual life. The 4 weeks have been overwhelming for me. I've just been made aware that he establishes, reassurance and closeness with the constant communication. This is a distant relationship. He's in a different city. I don't want to break things off, but I do feel overwhelmed right now. So I'm feeling like I would like to take a step back, slow things down a little bit. I'm starting to feel like maybe I rushed into the official relationship within these past 4 weeks. And I don't really know how to go about requesting that or setting that boundary, since we've kind of just stepped it up several notches these past 4 weeks. I've met his family and etc.
Okay.
But this is a relationship I do want. I just feel like it's sped up really quick within the past 4 weeks. So how can I go about establishing this boundary of just wanting to slow it down a bit more? I'm in a different city. He wants to be on the phone, FaceTime, 8 hours a day. It's a lot for me. And I think it's now starting to feel like an obligation rather than a desire. I still have feelings for him. I just don't want to lose that.
Okay. How old are you two?
I'm sorry?
How old are you two?
He's 35 and I'm 31.
Okay. Do you know much about attachment styles?
I do, and I think he has mentioned this to me, but I don't think that I really received what he was saying until now. I'm, just kind of like being made aware of like how attached he is. Yeah.
What? So you do know about like anxious attachment, avoidant attachment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think you are?
Honestly, I think I may need to relearn that. I find myself to be a detached individual.
You're avoidant.
Avoidance?
Yes.
Okay.
You're talking
Yeah.
about slowing things down with somebody who's been courting you for 9 months.
Yeah.
It's very slow, right? Very slow. So it was the way avoidance works is shit be cool until it get real, right? So like when you start getting closer with the person, when you enter a relationship container where now there's an expectation, avoidant people don't like losing their independence.
I don't.
You would have allowed him to court you for 3 years, as long as it didn't end up in a place where now there's expectations being set. It's not a matter of timing. It's not a matter of pace. It's just a matter of like now the connection is inherently threatening. Your nervous system is perceiving a threat because now it's like, oh, now we were just like operating from pure desire before. Now that we've entered into a relationship, we have like a relational container here. Now there's an expectation. Now I have to do this. Now I gotta tell you where I'm going, or if I want to travel somewhere, there's gonna be an expectation placed on me to communicate that. I can't just do what I want when I want, and I don't know if I like that, right? Slowing it down is not going to absolve that fear. You wanting to slow it down is your way of like trying to establish some control back, establish more independence, and regulate yourself a bit. But the fear is still going to be there.
Okay.
Because you're just scared of the closeness and the expectations that come with being in a relationship.
So I've done a long-term relationship of 5 years previous to this. I did have a break. I think right now, what it is like, right now the relationship structure requires like high access, high emotional presence, high frequency, fun.
Yeah.
But my current life season requires focus, self-rebuilding, identity strengthening, internal regulation. And I think I haven't been able to sit in the feelings that I've been developing. There has been no space for me to do so for clarity, to confirm that these feelings are real and they do stick and the distance doesn't make that different, because I do care for him.
Yeah.
I do.
You wouldn't need space if you didn't. If you didn't care for him, you wouldn't even be asking for space. Avoidant people only need space from people who they're getting close to.
Mm-hmm.
So just him activating you in this way shows that you care about him.
Right. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. Okay.
Now, there's nothing wrong with communicating. Like, does he know about attachment styles?
I believe so.
Okay. There's nothing.
So. I think he might be lacking a little bit of self-awareness in that department.
Okay.
Just based on how things have been flowing out recently, but
yeah.
we may need to have that conversation.
There's nothing wrong with you wanting space, right? But you need to communicate it in a way that does not self-communicate that like he's the problem.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So you just have to communicate like I'm someone who kind of likes, I have to sit with things to get clarity of my feelings. I need, a bit space sometimes to process. I just want to make sure that like you're okay with that, right? Because I'll need this from time to time. It's not a reflection of how I feel about you or anything like that. It's just sometimes I need space to process things.
Exactly.
And, having to be on a FaceTime for 4 hours a day, even though I love talking to you, it makes it harder.
8 hours, 12 hours.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like it makes it harder to process, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. Just communicate it like that to him, right? Just communicate that. Let him know that you need space.
Yeah.
And if he can tolerate that, then it's something that can work, right?
Okay. Yeah.
If he can tolerate that space, it's something that can work. Now, if he turns out to be anxious, which is possible,
Yes.
Because anxious people and avoidant people tend to connect, right? And just
Yes.
constantly trigger each other. Then it's going to be a bit more of a problem, right?
Yes.
So this conversation is going to give you a bit of clarity. This conversation, if he can tolerate you having a bit of space, but still being present in the connection, and by space, I don't mean you disappear.
Right. Correct.
I mean you just turn the dial down on the connection, right? So
My
right now it's like at
sentiments.
an 8 out of 10.
Yes.
Let's
My
reduce it.
sentiments.
Let's reduce it to like a 5, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to be able to play this. But I will also encourage you to do a bit of learning about this world, right? Because the more y'all can become aware of attachment theory and
Yes.
actually lean into improving your capacity in that way, will increase the likelihood that this connection can persist.
Okay, absolutely. I will have this conversation with him. I do want to add a little bit more in there. Just like I can't emotionally metabolize the connection at the same speed I'm experiencing it, which is why I just need a little bit of downtime, right? If you think about the analogy of eating nonstop for nourishment, but you need time to digest, right? So, and guys, he's an architect. He does work from home a lot. We do travel a lot together. So when we're having these FaceTimes, like I'm talking about breakfast dates, movie dates. He's working while I'm working on the phone, and I'm the type of person where I have to really center in and focus. It starts to feel like a distraction. So this is a conversation I want to have with him today. Last week I did attempt. I did tell him I'd like space, but his response was, well, this sounds like digression. I don't like that, So he actually became more affectionate, and we were just back in the loop again, So
He's anxious. It's gonna be
Yeah.
tough. It's gonna be tougher. Now
Yeah.
that you confirmed that he's anxious, it's gonna be tougher. You still have to have the conversation with him, but it's going to be even more important that an anxious person is afraid of being abandoned.
Yes.
So when you communicate this space, you have to reassure him simultaneously.
Absolutely.
Meaning, it needs to be very clear this is not about him.
Yes.
You have
Yes.
to be very clear that I am metabolizing the connection. This is just how I am. It is not
Right.
a you thing. If replace you with somebody else who I cared about, it will be the same thing, right? This is not
Exactly.
about you, okay? So you got to kind of reassure him while you have this conversation. Just saying I need space is too vague, and we
Right.
have negative associations with that phrasing.
Yes.
Right.
The show do is triggering for people.
Yeah, when you tell someone you need space, they immediately alarm bells start going off. So you gotta phrase it very intentionally.
Right.
And this success with this is going to hinge primarily on communication and a willingness to increase the capacity on both ends.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay.
I am so ready to have this conversation for the
bet.
sake that I want this long term, and I need the foundation to be solid. I don't want to just be in the moment and for it to feel good in the moment.
Right.
I need it to be established now. So I will have this conversation with him tonight.
All right.
He's upset actually that he didn't say this, but I can sense his tone in the text. I
Yeah.
had declined the breakfast date so I can have my morning to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy that I did. I was able to join this live.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll reach out to him tonight and see what's going on. But I appreciate your advice and
Absolutely.
perspective.
Hey, follow back up and keep me posted. I want to see how it plays out. All right.
Will do. Thanks again.
All right, love you. Take care.
Ciao.
I like her voice too. She sounds like she's a joy to talk to. That's probably why he's like, "What do you mean we can't talk as much anymore?" Anyway, who we got? We got Remy.
Hi.
How you doing?
Okay, so I'm doing good. And I think my relationship is doing good too. It's just, it's new. It's new.
Uh-huh.
So I just started talking to a guy that's a little bit older than me, which is more my flavor because I've always been like a little more mature than most, which is fine.
Okay.
But I don't know what to do and what not to do when it comes to talking to certain people. I know guys my age, they only want one thing. And they're very immature when it comes to a lot of stuff. But when it comes to this relationship, I almost feel like it's perfect. And so I don't know what's cool to do and what's not cool to do. I don't know. I don't know what's cool to do.
Keep going.
Sorry. So I'm just not sure what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right, or if I'm doing too much. And it hasn't been long enough for me to really do anything. So I don't know.
What's the actual problem here?
I feel like it's perfect, but there's no way.
Okay, so you're in a situation where you feel like it's too good to be true?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the question here?
Do I just, like see it through? Am I overanalyzing it by saying it's too good to be true and backing off?
Yeah.
Or
100%. How long y'all been dating?
just enjoy the moment? It's been like 2 months. We're on our 3rd month.
Okay. Yeah.
He has kids. I don't have kids.
Okay. But there's no big problem. Like, he's consistent with you. He's seeing you. He's showing up for you.
For the most part, we do have moments where he'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna call you," and then doesn't call me, or I'll think that it's gonna be one thing and then it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. He always, whenever it comes to the aftermath of, "Hey, you said you was gonna call me and you didn't call me," he always has the perfect excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't seem like he's lying. So I don't want to put on, my insecurities of thinking a man is lying.
Yeah.
When he probably isn't lying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I don't put that on him. But there are moments where I'm like, okay, Then his baby mama did just move into town. So I'm a little worried about that as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's fair. Those are valid concerns. But you don't want to, like, self-sabotage a connection that just, like, you're kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Right? And it might. Right? It's a 2-month connection. Y'all don't know each other that well yet. Still very early. But the best way to approach these situations is to be cautiously optimistic. Right? You want to stay in the middle, be cautiously optimistic. You don't want to be expecting negative things to happen, nor do you want to be expecting, like, sunshine and rainbows 24/7. Just be cautiously optimistic. Be in the moment. Enjoy it. And just know that the truth always comes to the light if given enough time. Okay?
Okay. That's what I was thinking too. Like, I've been trying not to let it bother me as much as past relationships have, because he has been good to me. He has, done things for me. And he don't give me many reasons for me to think that he's acting otherwise. We have good conversation. I communicate when I have a problem. And he seems to not have any problem, which scares me a little bit. For him not to have no issues with me is kind of scary, but I know I'm not perfect. He knows I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both kind of scared of the fact that we think the other person is perfect, but no, that can't be the case.
Yeah. That, like, again, time is the most important variable here.
I thought so.
Just try to try your best to live in the present.
Live in the moment. Don't let it bother me.
That's it.
Okay. Sounds as good as I can get right now. It's too early for me to even be worried.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you, all right?
You too, honey bun. Have a great day.
You too. Bye. All right. What's going on, bro?
Hello.
What's up?
I'm good. I recently got married last year, June.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
sorry, it was July.
Uh-huh.
It was an arranged marriage. We met like the end of June, and we met in India. She knows very like small English, but we were able to communicate, and we're pretty compatible otherwise. And she's gonna come to this country maybe this June or July. I was wondering, what's a good way to help her assimilate from her culture in India, and like, how do I help her deal with American life?
I mean, there's nothing really that you can do other than like that's just time, right? Exposure is
Do
what
you think
will.
I should just be with her like a little bit, or cause like I got like a full-time job, like a job and a half pretty much, and I'm not gonna be around her too much. You think I should be around her like when she comes over and we just go like I don't know, we go out a little bit to help her like see a little bit of the country and assimilate more.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's all I want to know. Oh, I also want to know your thoughts on arranged marriages.
I don't really have much of an opinion. It's outside of my experience.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, thank you.
No problem. Express. What's happening?
Can you hear me? Welcome to the Signal Dating Live.
There we go.
I'm so sorry I was on mute.
No, you good. You
And-
good.
Perfect. Well, hey, Marquette. Hey, Chad. Just wanted to do a quick update. Thank you, each and every one of you, for joining. We just wanted to extend an opportunity to take the time to go ahead and follow the host. This is the master with the plan, Marquette. If you have not done so, we're going to ask that you go ahead and drop your heart me's. That's done at the very top of the screen to the left. And at the bottom, you'll see an opportunity to share the live to your audience. That is going to be an add to your story or share it continuously throughout the live. We're also asking that you continue to help us as a community to tap the screen to our tap goal today is 115,000 taps, and we are quite a ways from doing so. So we're just getting ready to meet the top of the hour, and we need your support. Thank you for the follows. Chat with you soon.
Appreciate you, Express.
Okay.
All right. Demi's Rage. What's going on?
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
good. I just want y'all to know that I'm 21.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like once I tell you my story, you're gonna be like, "Oh, you're too young. Like, let it go."
Okay. Try to start with the question first, then give me the details, okay?
Can an avoidant and an anxious person work?
Okay. You can go ahead.
So I've been with my ex since I was 17, and we've been on and off. Like the first time we got together, it's probably 8-9 months, like straight, like through. And then one day he breaks up with me, basically saying how basically was like he fighting demons and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my bad.
You're good.
And at the time he was 19.
Okay.
And now he's 22. And we recently actually just broke up like 3-4 days ago. He basically was like, he feel like we're not a match, and he feels like with our base and like our past and stuff, it's kind of hard for us to move forward, and he feel like it'll be easier without our past and stuff. And he was like, he feel like I don't need him, and all this other stuff. And it's like when we first got back together, it was good, it was cool. And then maybe because I'm anxious, I may bring up certain things, certain like problems that may not be that big of a problem, but since I overthink, I feel like I talk to him about it, but then he gets more so like he's trying to protect himself or whatever. So it's like I don't get. It's like it gets nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I be trying with him and stuff. I be trying to make it work. I told him, in order for him to even get back with me this time, that he has to go to therapy, and he did. But I don't know what he talked about in therapy or what. But obviously, it didn't help us this go around.
Mm-hmm.
So, the last time I saw him was the day we broke up. I went to his house, we smoked, and then I went in his room and we just sat in silence. Like, We didn't say nothing. He asked if I was trying to hug him. I gave him a hug. And I had a letter that I was actually going to read him, but I was just like, it's no point because he already made up his mind. So then I just left.
Mm-hmm.
And he let me leave, like, without saying nothing. So then, like, a day later, I asked if he wanted to, like, have sex one last time. And at first, he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then he texted me and was like, actually, I don't think we should. It don't feel right. So I was like, okay. So then, maybe, like, the next day or 2 days, I asked if I could call him. And he was like, he don't have the headspace to talk. So I was like, okay. And yeah, I just let it go at this point. But I see he posting back on Instagram, posting himself on Instagram and stuff. And it's just like, why?
Okay. Was that everything?
But he said this go around he was trying.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But yeah, that's basically everything.
Okay. So y'all aren't together right now?
No.
Gotcha. I mean, it's not ideal for an anxious and avoidant person to be together, but they can, because just because you have attachment styles are not like personality traits, right? It's not like your personality. It's just telling you the behavior you're likely going to engage in when you feel threatened, right? But you can have two people who are both avoidant who show up differently in a relationship, right? So the question assumes that all anxious people are the same and all avoidant people are the same. That's not the case. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, in your specific situation, it's likely not going to work out. That would require at least one of you to either become secure or sacrifice your needs entirely, right? Like you hear people say, oh, if you're insecurely attached, if one person becomes secure, then the connection will work. No, it's a good thing to do. You improve the odds of it happening, but it doesn't guarantee it. You can become secure and the connection still doesn't work. The relationship still fails, right? In this particular situation, neither party is trying to become more secure, right? Like you're still behaving in an anxious way. He's still behaving in an avoidant way, partially because of how young you two are. You probably don't have the tools to kind of learn how to show up in a healthier way. And there also seems to be a lack of willingness to do anything differently. And it's also harder once patterns have already been established in the relationship. You get what I mean? When you're in a relationship,
he feel like we always gonna end up breaking up no matter what.
Yeah, like you start to be in a relationship and you start behaving in the relationship in a particular way, and then over time, the relationship itself becomes a pattern that becomes hard to break. Right? In other words, if you went and got with another avoidant, it will probably be easier for you to like behave better then in that situation because a pattern hasn't been established yet. In this situation, a pattern has been established, a cycle, as It Girl Rach just said, and it's harder to break out of that pattern, right? So in this specific situation, I would say it's probably best to let this one go. And then when you get in another one, like make a concerted effort to regulate your emotions, regulate your nervous system, right? And try to begin to take steps to becoming a bit more secure in the connection.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay, if I say something.
Go ahead, bro.
I saw a woman in a live, and she said her and her husband took mental health therapy together, and she couldn't wait she was talking to the women. She wanted the women to listen to what she was sharing with them, the education she was sharing. She was genuinely speaking. She said her and her husband took mental health therapy together, and she couldn't wait to get in there to expose him to show him how messy he was and how much his life was a mess, just to find out she was the problem. And another man, he said his wife asked him to do therapy, so he did it with her. And she failed with 3 therapists. And she fought with the therapist, so he just divorced her in the end. So I just think, you know, a lot of times we be looking for a helpmate, soulmate, husband, and wife. And we be looking for that person to be the best version of themselves they supposed to be. But we not the version we looking for. A lot of the times, we are the problem. I was the problem 17 years ago until I started doing therapy. Before I met my wife, who I've been married to now for 17 years. I was the problem. But I did therapy because I needed it. I couldn't call on the tribe, the village, the neighborhood, community, or even family. But therapy worked. So I dealt with a man for 17 years, took a 3-year break, and now I have a woman therapist. So sometimes I just want to say we are the problem, but we don't know we the problem. Stigma will tell you don't go seek therapy. Stigma will tell you not to come into this live and talk to this brother right here, who reminds me of a therapist. Stigma will tell you he can't help you. Don't listen to him. They're going to tell you to take medications. They're going to call you crazy. They're going to reclassify you. The world going to look at you different. That's called stigma. But I'm going to go back on mute until the host is ready for me.
Appreciate you sharing, my man. All right, love. You got your answer, okay? So feel free to come back if you want to talk about it more, all right? But in this situation,
Should
I
I
think...
just block him?
Say what? Should you block?
Should I just block him? Because the last
that's fine.
thing I sent was asking him to talk, and he said he didn't have the space to talk.
That'll help you move on, but when you do, make sure it stays that way, all right?
Because I've been blocking and unblocking him all weekend.
Yeah, stop doing that. Just make the decision once and then move on, all right?
All right, thanks.
All right, love. Best of luck to you. All right, bro. What's going on?
I just noticed, you know, she said he was in therapy. He's dealing with mental health. I've been married. No, I don't wear a mask. So I can't wait for your response for this. I've been married 3 times in my life. And 2 of the situations, I wasn't the problem, you know, and I had to get out of them 2. But this woman I've been with for the last 17 years, she's been to me what any past relationship I was in couldn't be. I did therapy for 17 years. I'm both physically, mentally disabled. I do get a check for disability. I'm curious as to why are women interested? You know, I have my own answer. But and I'm in my 50s, why are women interested in men who are dealing with mental health and dealing with therapy? And you know, it don't make sense. And I have kids, and because the woman I'm with now and been with for 17 years, my past relationships, they won't let me see my kids. I have to take them to court. I would have had to have smacks with them. I would have had to jump through their loops. I would have had to allow them to control me. So child support failed them. Smacks failed them because they couldn't control me with that. And then they tried to use the kids to weaponize me and control me, and that failed.
Yeah.
So I got kids I haven't seen in almost 10 years. And then I had 2 kids that contacted me to let me know that they had left their mom. And they had to check their mom and let their mom know whatever went on between you and my dad don't have anything to do with me. And when one of the mothers said to both of my sons, you just like your dad, and they replied to their mother, how could I be just like him when I don't even know him because you kept me away from him?
Yeah.
And one of the women told one of my sons, my oldest, to come find me because she admitted to him that she was the problem and she kept him away from me on purpose. But by the time these kids get to me, these women have ruined them. And it's hard to build with them because these women have ruined them and turned them against me. And now you want to accuse them because they don't agree with you and they don't want to even deal with you no more. Now they want to be like me. And they don't even know me. I don't even know them. And it gets deeper, you know, but it's just sad. Like I was listening to her and she said, he's in therapy. Why you didn't get in therapy with it? Why you didn't go do some therapy? Maybe you're the problem and you don't know it. Because when I was the problem, I didn't know it. So 17 years ago, I went seek help. And it's been very good for me. It's worked for me. It's balanced my life. equilibrium. It has brought peace to my life. I mean,
Yeah.
me and my wife have 2 places now. She's a boss. The LLC has her own license, doing her own thing. I'm at what we call the man cave. Now, see, I know I can talk to somebody like you, and I can handle constructive criticism. I love constructive criticism because it's growth. You know, but I couldn't talk to my family. I couldn't talk to the community, the neighborhood, the tribe, the village, because 9 times out of 10, they the problem too, and they don't realize it. But there's certain therapists, because it's like looking for a good therapist. It's like trying to find a good relationship. It's like a musician looking for someone to collaborate with, or you're looking for a business partner, and it ain't easy finding good people in this world. But the therapists have listened to me. They heard me. They gave me my diagnoses. I've done my homework, research, and study on the diagnoses. And I got balance and control in them orders. I don't take medications. I'm not on any meds. I wasn't born like this. This didn't come. My physical and mental disability didn't come until after life happened. So I survived the childhood trauma. I survived the adulthood trauma. Despite the childhood trauma spilled over into adulthood trauma, I finally got order in my life and control in my life.
I hear you, bro. But my mods are messaging me that they're about to cut you off, so I gotta make it. So what's the question? What's the question that you have here?
That's it. Just what do you think about why are women interested in physically, mentally disabled people?
Why are they interested in physically, mentally disabled people? That's not been my experience of them being interested in physically, mentally disabled people.
The lady that just dropped, her dude was in therapy. That's mental health.
Okay.
And I'm sure he probably get a check. So I'm curious as to, and then we become the problem.
Okay.
And they want to take the key. I'm just curious. You may not have the answer. I respect that.
Yeah.
I have no problem. If you don't have the answer for that or can't relate, I understand.
Yeah, and the particular situation you were just referring to, I think you're kind of projecting your situation onto him. He's just somebody who went to therapy because his girlfriend told him to go to therapy, right?
Wow.
So
see, I'm somebody who did therapy because that's something that I needed and wanted to do on my own. Nobody told me, made me, forced me. This was something that I wanted to do. So we're not the same. But I get it. But it's not cool. I would just say to everybody out there, if you're dealing with somebody that's in therapy, you might need to get in there yourself and stop chasing us physically, mentally disabled people because of some type of assistance we may be receiving from the government or...
All right. The mods have spoken. Who's next? Simone?
Hi.
How you doing?
Thanks for bringing me up. I'm good.
Absolutely.
So my question is, there's a man in my church that I'm interested in, and I believe he's interested in me. I've kind of been picking up on some hints. My brother and his girlfriend have also been like, I don't know, I think he kind of likes you. So I'm just curious as to like, what is the best way to let him know that I'm interested without doing too much? Because we go to the same church and we serve on the same team. That's how we kind of ran into each other. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to, like, if he's not interested or anything, I don't want to make it awkward because we obviously still have to see each other every Sunday. So, yeah, but I just don't have a lot of experience with dating. Really? And he's a little bit older than me, but I've only had, like, one relationship in my life, which is my ex-husband. Okay. So when it comes to that process of, like, okay, I'm interested in you, you're interested in me, moving it to that next step is where I'm like, I have no idea what to do. I just have no experience in that area.
Why do you think that he's interested in you?
I just noticed his interactions with me have kind of increased. Like every Sunday, it seems like he interacts with me more than he did the first time. And I noticed that he doesn't really interact as much with any other like women at the church that I've noticed. Even within our team, like he's nice to everyone, but he doesn't like converse with them. Like he makes sure to converse with me. He's like trying to get his hug first thing in the morning. He's always like talking to me. Like during the whole service, we're in the corner having a conversation. He doesn't really do that with anyone else. And then even with another team, like we edit for like our pastor's social media, and so we're both the editors on there. And I just noticed even in our smaller group chat, like people might say stuff and he'll never responds, but if I say something in there, then he's like first thing on it to respond. So just little things, little interactions that I'm like, you know, I'm kind of picking up on it, but not 100% sure. That's why I'm like, I don't really know what to do to let him know I'm interested if he is interested.
How old are you two?
I'm 32. He's 46.
46. Okay. Yeah, that's a gap. That's definitely a gap.
It is. It's a gap. Yeah.
Has he been married before? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I know he has a kid that's older.
Okay.
But I don't know if that was from a previous marriage or just a relationship. I don't know.
Gotcha. I mean, there's not much, and this is the problem with like some Christian men. They just won't shoot. You know what I mean? Like I've had this question a couple of times. They just won't make their intentions known. They'll obviously be interested in you, and they'll orbit you, but they won't. They just won't initiate, right? Almost as if they're waiting for you to do it. So your read on the situation is accurate, right? If he's showing you special attention, if he's engaging with you, but he's not giving that same energy to other women in the church, then obviously he has some sort of affection to you. Someone said go to the elders. That would be an interesting play. I didn't consider that. That might work, actually. Yeah, that might work.
To the elders of the church? And I mean, it's like what? Like, hey, I like him. Can y'all talk to him? Like,
Yeah. That's a good move. That's a good move. Yeah, because then you don't have to directly do it, right? But that's also like how people forget like the environment from which we come from, like historically. This is kind of how things used to work. Like we used to pair bond and engage in like choosing a mate from community. It wasn't a dating app thing. It wasn't a, like I saw you at the mall and I went and talked to you thing. It was more community oriented, right? So you being in the church kind of like models that a little bit. It mimics it a little bit. So what she said, I didn't catch her name, but the whole elders thing, you don't have to do that, but it is a play that you can make without you directly, because they probably have some data on them. They probably have some information. Maybe he's talking about you to them already, right? Or maybe they can kind of like plant a seed his way. Not even tell them that you're interested, more so encourage him to go talk to you, right? Because they already know you will connect with them. I think that's a really good play. So shout out to the woman who dropped that in the chat. And it's a real good move. Other than that, was that you, Lady Stone, who did it? Whoever it was, shout out to you who dropped that. But
and I want to just add, I've only noticed this over the last like 2-3 Sundays. It's not like this has been like a long time of like, he likes me, but he just won't say anything.
Yeah.
It's like pretty fresh that I'm just noticing.
Okay, give it another week or so. Maybe he's building up the gusto to actually approach you. And if he doesn't, then I think that is a good play. Because outside of that, the only thing that you can do is just be more proactive in engaging him, right? Maybe you start conversations with him. Maybe smile. Maybe light touching, right? You know, laughing, hitting him on the arm, stuff like that. You know, schoolgirl stuff, right? And give him the insight like, oh, okay, she's probably feeling me too, right? He's probably he will probably pick up on the same type of vibes you were picking up on, right? Oh, she's only talking to me though. She's not talking to any other men. And then she's looking at me and smiling, maybe, right? And then he go ahead and he initiates. So there's options. There's not like one singular answer. There's definitely options here. You can do what I just said. You can go the elders route, right? But I think considering that you've noticed this over the past 2 weeks, give it like another week or two just to see if he makes a move. And then if not, just choose the course of action that like you pray on it. And then choose the best course of action that kind of resonates with you the strongest.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. Keep me posting how it goes, all right?
Will do.
All right, you take care. Bria is back. What's up, Bria?
What's up, y'all? So I just have a quick question. So I was thinking, and I was like, well, since I left that 5-year relationship, I just feel like that's why I stayed so long, because like starting over and meeting new people is always like a mess, I think. But I was thinking that I wanted to, like all the people I met so far after the breakup, I was thinking that I just want to like cut everybody off, not talk to anybody, and just, be by myself for a little bit and heal some more, even though I felt like I was healing within that relationship. But, like, the healing don't really start until you and the person are, like, really done, and the no contact, and, So I just feel like maybe I'm the problem, and I'm just not in a predicament to talk to anybody. Like, I'm not supposed to be talking to anybody. I just may need to focus on myself and just heal a little more. So do you think I should like cut everybody off, disappear from the world, and just heal and then step back out to the dating world?
I would. It's interesting you asked that question, because I just posted a video that kind of relates to what you're talking about, but it's for men, but it also applies to women. You have to know what you're optimizing for, right? What I mean by that is like, what outcome do you want when it comes to dating? And I was making a point in the video that like you can't optimize for like both sex and connection, right? You got to choose which lane, so that you can get in alignment. And there's costs to both, right? So like if you choose sex, the cost is going to be depth and connection, right? But if you choose connection, the cost is going to be, you're likely going to go through long periods of droughts, and you're going to run into a lot of false positives. Okay? So if you choose connection and you want a relationship and you choose connection, you're going to have to really lean into patience, because what's rewarded in the current dating marketplace is emotional unavailability and novelty seeking, right? So being avoidant and just having light connections with a number of people, that behavior is rewarded culturally within the dating marketplace that we currently have. If you're someone who moves with intention and depth, that's punished in today's dating marketplace, whether you're a woman or a man, right? So if you're going to choose that path, you have to just accept that you're going to have to be patient, and you have to protect yourself from becoming jaded and bitter while being patient. And the only way to do that is to take breaks. So you just connected with somebody, right? And you ended that connection. The wrong move to make would be to just immediately start entertaining other people.
Okay.
The right move to make would be to take a step back, regulate your nervous system a bit, pour some more energy into yourself, heal a bit, right? And then get back out there. You got to recharge your battery. You're going to keep draining yourself and burning yourself out if you go from a connection where you actually were forming some degree of intimacy with the person. It didn't work out, and now you're moving on to lighter connections. You're not giving yourself the space to kind of like heal a bit more and recharge your battery. And that's going to cause you to burn out and become bitter. And when you do come across somebody that is healthy enough to be with you, you're too burnt out to really connect to them. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I think that's my problem right there. Because I do feel like I have ran into some good people even when I was in my relationship. Like when you speak about patience, I just felt like I was so patient and gave so many chances for it still not to work out in the end, because I accepted things that I wouldn't normally accept from anybody else. But that was me being patient.
But when I say patience, I mean patience in terms of like running into the right person. Because man, you had this conversation, so you've overcorrected. You went from like, you gave chance after chance after chance after chance, and that didn't work. You got fed up with that, so you switched strategies, and now it's like, I don't give no chances. The moment you piss me off, you out of there, right? When there's a middle ground, right? There's a middle ground where you can give grace when grace is necessary, but it's to a point, right? You keep playing with me. You make this a pattern. We've already talked about this once or twice, and you're still doing it. Now you're playing with me now, so I got to go ahead and cut you off, right?
That's the right thing to do, right?
Yeah, once you see something as a pattern, and a pattern, I would say, if you want a real 3 times. let's say it's 3 times, right? If it gets to that point, it's like, all right, well, either you aren't taking me seriously or you really can't change this. Like maybe you want to, but you can't do it.
Yeah.
But I can't be with you if you can't change that, so I got to dip out. Right.
Okay.
So that's going to be the healthy balance there. It's not like the moment you make a mistake, I'm out, because people will. The perfect guy for you is going to make a mistake. I promise you. So you got to give a bit of grace. Know what your non-negotiables are as well, right? And be patient for that connection. And when you do, like, you're going to run into false positives. There are going to be people that you date who you're going to get close with, and either you find something out about them, they were wearing a mask, or the moment y'all got close, they run. Like, one of those 3 things that happen, that's going to hurt you, right? And you got to take a step back and heal from that pain before you start entertaining somebody else. But definitely don't experience that pain and then try to cover it up with a new person, because that's how you're going to mess yourself up.
Okay, let me tell you this. So I met this man and we were chatting, and he said something like, if you need anything, I can bring it to you, blah, blah, blah. And I just told him straight up, I was like, I don't let men come to my house. Like, I don't let no man come to my home. A man can't even tell you where I stay at. And I don't know if that, well, it haven't been a problem for me because any man I deal with has like his own place. So I just always go there. But
Sure.
I don't know, is that a deal breaker from some people? Is that a problem? Because no man can come to my house. Like, I sleep in my bed every night by myself. In the middle of my bed, ain't no room for nobody else.
Yeah.
So, and I do that because I have teenage kids. Like I said, my daughter is 16. She'll be 17 in a couple of months. I don't want her to think that it's okay to be shacking up with these men or laid up with these men. So whatever I do, my kids don't know about it.
I understand that. I think that's reasonable, as long as are you communicating that second half?
Correct. I am. Like, it took my ex maybe a year and a half before he even met my kids.
Okay.
That's just not something that I'm okay with. I don't feel like it's okay to date, but I just don't feel like your kids have to
I agree with
meet
you.
every man you date. You don't have to have a baby by every man you date. I
Yeah.
just feel like it's levels to it.
Absolutely. I
And
agree
some
with you.
women do that, and like my kids know, the only man I ever seen mama with was my ex of the 5 years. My kids don't see me with the man.
Right. No, I agree with that. I move the same. You know, I got a son, I got a 9-year-old. So it's like, he's never met a woman that I dated, right? The way that I move is like, you will only meet my child if we are in a relationship. Like, we get to that place. If we get to that place, then like, yeah, of course. Because I will only get into a relationship with you if I see like a future with you, right?
Right.
So if we get to that point, then you'll meet. But just like dating, no. I've had people who tried. I'm like, it's damn near a red flag to me. I'm like, what do you?
Yeah,
no.
That's a red flag to me. But
Absolutely not.
I feel like it's my job to protect my kids, and like I don't know. I just like you can't come to my house. Like, if you don't have a house for me to come to, we just.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you, but you can't come over here.
But that's reasonable, right? And the reason why I was asking, like, you were letting him know your logic behind it without having to explain everything you just explained to me. There's no need for you to go on like a speech, right? But I think any reasonable person will be like, oh, I have teenage kids, you know, I have a daughter, I have a teenage daughter. I don't want them meeting people unless I know it's serious. So I don't bring people back to my house, right? Simple as that.
Right, like the man I was talking to that I told you that went those days without texting me, I will always go to his house, and he was okay with it because he have a daughter. I don't want to meet her. Just being honest, I don't want to meet his kid. I ain't trying to be a mama. I ain't trying to be around her. I don't want to meet her. But I always went to his place. He didn't have a problem. So some men don't have a problem with it, and some men do. But like I said, I communicate that from the start because I don't want you to think, oh, I'm just about to be laid up with her at her house. Because no, you're not coming over here.
Yeah,
I
you're
may
just
cook and
filtering.
bring you a plate, but you ain't coming over here to eat.
Yeah, that's just filtering, right? That like some guys may be like, oh, you just telling me that because you probably got something going on and you don't want me to. But then that's like an insecure person who you just filter them out, right? Any reasonable person will be like, that makes sense. I understand what you mean by that, right?
Because I do explain because I don't want them to feel no type of way. I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying this because my mom never did it to me, and I'm the only child. My parents, you know, they wasn't together since I was a little girl, and I never seen my mom with different men. I saw her with her husband that she's with. She been with him since I was 12, and I'm 35 now. So, you know, I didn't see my mom do it. But I'm thinking that I'm just going to like cut everybody off, and I just need time to heal because I feel like I just am the problem right now because it's like I have zero tolerance, and I'm just like, if you do this, like you said, I'm gonna cut you off. And I don't want to be like that because nobody is perfect. And, you know, sometimes you have to teach a man. And I have this thing in my head, like, I'm not teaching no man how to treat him, but sometimes you have to teach them what you like and how you want to be treated because the last person may not have these standards that you have.
Exactly.
So he probably don't know. And I just feel like my patience is short. I just done ran out of time
And that patience becomes short because you jump from one person to another.
Right.
So you're still feeling the effects from the last situation, right? And how annoying they were. And then that bleeds into the current connection. That's why the whole taking breaks will allow you to like fully process that connection so you can kind of go to new connection on like a blank slate or as close as you possibly can to that type of orientation.
Okay, well, how long you think I should do this
I
before
think
stepping back out?
it's just
because I don't do no backtracking. Once I cut you off, you just cut off.
Yeah, it depends. It's case by case basis. I feel like whenever you feel a bit more optimistic about getting back out there, you should get back out there. But don't get out there because it's like from a place of fear or from a place of like trying to solve boredom or you know, wanting to feel validated. It's more so just like a genuine, pure desire of like, oh, I would like to go out there and meet some people. You know what I mean?
And that's the scary part for me because I have mastered being content by myself. Like I don't need a man. I can go buy myself whatever I want. I'll get dressed and take myself out. I go buy myself some flowers, me and my daughter. So I feel like I don't need a man for that. Like I just mastered being content alone, but I don't want to get to the point where, because I do get lonely, I do get bored. I don't want it to be like where I don't want to date no more, period.
Yeah, I hear you, but I feel like that's not gonna be a problem because it hasn't been a problem up to this point.
Okay.
So I don't think you'll get to that point. If you really need like a time measurement of time, I think 3 months is plenty.
Okay.
Right. It really depends on how long your connection was, but I think 3 months is plenty if you're just talking about like you were dating somebody that didn't work out. It would be different if you were in a relationship with somebody that didn't work out, right? But I think 3 months is plenty, but it's really case by case. Just kind of assess how you're feeling and go back out there, right?
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, we got a little bit of a line, don't we? See if Avery wants to come up. Hello.
I wasn't expecting you to bring me up.
How you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm good.
So I just had a question. Like, what general advice would you have for someone who has been single for like a long time and doesn't have a lot of dating experience?
Okay.
Someone who's older in their 30s.
Okay.
That
was my next question.
You know, so.
Okay. So my question now is why do you not have much dating experience?
So in the last like couple of years, this is what it's basically been. I was in a serious relationship. We were engaged, but then we called off the engagement because I think he had something going on with one of my close friends at the time. Then it got kind of bad. The friend started getting passive aggressive. He obviously, the breakup did not end on a good note. So I just distanced myself from that whole like mutual circle. And then shortly after that, my mom unalived from cancer. My dad unalived years ago. So my mom was the last parent and she unalived. So I don't have a lot of family. I have 2 sisters, but they live in different states. And then I lost my job a little while later. And then I dealt with some homelessness for a couple of years. So yeah, so that I just always kind of looked at dating as something that, like, until I have my life in order, until I'm in a good place, I don't really want to date people, you know, because I feel like it wouldn't be good for me or for them, you know, and I could just potentially invite the wrong people into my life being in that position, you know. But yeah, I the goal was to just save some money, get out of the debt that I was dealing with at the time. And it ended up just taking a long time. I don't know, you know, but I'm in a good place now. You know, I've always been a sober person. I never drink or do drugs or nothing like that. You know, I exercise all the time. So, like, yeah, just kind of an introvert. And, like, I have not, oh, I should maybe mention in that span of time, there were like 2 talking phases. So,
Okay.
but aside from that, yeah, I just have not dated very much.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for how life's been treating you, but it definitely seemed like you come on the other side of it with like a good disposition. So that's good to see. It's just a testament to your strength of character. So the question is, what is the general advice that I would give for somebody who's getting back out there? It's kind of vague. So I'm gonna give you like some big picture advice. And if you want to like specify or have more clarity, we can get more specific. Okay. But generally speaking, dating problems are going to be downstream of social problems. So the one thing you said that stood out to me was that you're an introvert. So you kind of stick to yourself, right? That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem.
Yes.
You tend to meet.
It's got to do with why I haven't met a lot of people, because, like,
Yeah.
I'm not even putting myself in, like, dating situations, you know? I have, like, 3 people that are friends, and they're, like, the only people I talk to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's...
You experience more like positive outcomes, not guaranteed positive outcomes, but a higher probability of positive outcomes when it comes to dating when you just approach it in the way people from our past approached it, which is like community, right? The community aspect to it. So that's going to be you engaging in hobbies, joining clubs, putting yourself in third spaces, becoming a regular somewhere, right? Engaging the people in that space, getting to know them, fostering more platonic connections, because every person you bring into your orbit is a potential door to other people, right? You get to meet the people that they know. And your person may be in a mutual connection, right? So that's how you best position yourself to start to have serendipity operate in your favor.
Okay.
You
Should
cover
I
more.
focus on social relationships first, or, like, a social circle first?
Yeah, I would start there because you're building from the ground up. When you think more from a long term, the more long term thinking you can engage in, the better decisions you make.
Right.
So what I just described is a more long term play, but it positions you to meet people who are in better alignment with you. Most people, there's a quote like, if you do things the easy way, you'll have a hard life. But if you do things the hard way, you'll have an easy life. Right?
That's a very good way to put it.
A lot of people like do dating apps and stuff like that. It's the easy way. But then that's part of the reason why everyone's complaining about dating now. Because everyone's trying to do it the easy way.
How do you feel about dating apps? Would you recommend them? Or I've never been on a dating app, so...
I recommend them to people. Like, I'm a man's coach, right? I just got suckered into talking to women on these lives. When I first started these lives, it was for men, and then women kept coming. So I would answer their questions, and then it's like they never stopped coming. So I continued to answer their questions. But it's I recommend dating apps very specifically, right? So if I'm dealing with a guy who is coming to me for like dating coaching, and he doesn't have much experience, I would recommend dating apps because it's the fastest way to start getting experience. Right? Now, that's for a guy, right? For a woman, no, I wouldn't probably ever, like, it's there's nothing inherently wrong with them. It is just, I think very big picture, right? That's why I can offer so much value on these lives. So what happens big picture is we're meeting more people and connecting to more people romantically at a faster rate and experiencing more volume of people than we ever have historically. We're not wired to connect with this many people romantically. So what happens is we burn out our nervous system by connecting with all these people and it not going in a positive direction, which then trains
one thing
us.
for me about dating apps, it's like if you compare it to dating 40 years ago or so, when you were going on a first date, you already knew their family, your parents might have known each other, you might have known each other for a couple of years from school or church. But now it's like this like element of
And
like,
with all of those connections, it incentivizes people to treat you a certain way.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, someone's not going to ghost you. Yeah, if their mom knows you, they're not ghosting you, right? They don't want to hear their mom's mouth. But now with this degree of anonymity that comes with like dating apps and social media, I don't pay a price for treating you badly. I don't pay a price for lying to you or anything like that. So there's nothing to punish that type of behavior. So people are going to choose the pathway of least resistance. They're going to stay in their comfort zone. So anyway, we can go off on many tangents about this, but I don't demonize them because it is ultimately just a tool. The problem is a lot of people depend on dating apps for dating. They don't date in any other way. That's the problem. If you look at it as a tool and it's just an additional tool in your tool belt to meet people, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. But if you default to it, it's going to be a problem.
Okay. Well, that was good advice.
Mm-hmm.
I will start with slow, I guess, and try to meet friends first and go from there. I think that's a good approach.
Well, keep me
thanks
posted.
for having me out. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, love. You take care.
Yeah, you too.
Mm-hmm. We could have got way deeper in that too. We could have got way deeper on that conversation. But hopefully y'all got some value out of that. But yeah, trying to take the more community approach will lead to better connections for sure, for both men and women. It just will. Hello.
Yeah, hello, good day.
What's going on, man?
I'm here.
You're here. I know. What's going on? You got a question?
Oh, yeah. No, she was saying something, but I was saying I was sending the request to mention to her that it's best if you get to know someone first and then, start a friendship and stuff. And then you can build a bond from there by starting a friendship. You can know what this person is all about and yeah, gotcha. I'm running late though, but I saw this live on FYP and I came through and to show some support and stuff.
Appreciate you, brother. Best of luck to you, man. You take care.
All right, brother.
Buddy said I'm running late. That awkward tension hit. He was like, well, there's my mama. I'm gonna head on out. B, what's going on?
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. So I've got a question. I went on a first date with a guy, and he, expressed some interest about like a second date, but we've been talking like here and there, but there's not been anything sort of like permanent in place.
Okay, so you've been dating the guy for how long?
Literally, it's just been like, I don't know, like 2 weeks. So it's like very, very new.
Okay.
Just the first date, we went on and like, there was like lots of chemistry, lots of like banter. We got along well, sort of talks about, a second date, but nothing has eventuated.
Okay. How long ago did y'all have the first date?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. First date 2 weeks ago. When's the last time you spoke to him?
Like yesterday, but like the conversation is pretty much fizzled out. It feels like very much dead. Like it's just like, just like a response, like just once a day.
Okay. So what has changed with like how he's responding? Is it like the frequency or just the tone of the messages?
would say kind of like both, but I'm trying not to like, you know, obviously overthink it, because texting can, you know, it's like a, what is it, like a false intimacy. Like it creates a false sense of intimacy. So I don't want to just rely on texting, but based on sort of like his actions, there's nothing that has been done.
Gotcha.
Kind of like.
Yeah, doesn't seem like he's going to move forward, love. Behavioral shifts always mean something, right? So if you notice a behavioral shift in his messages, then it seems like he probably isn't going to move forward. How'd you meet him?
Just like on the dating apps, and like he's here for like just on holiday, so it's a little bit of a sort of like
okay.
You know, unserious situation.
Gotcha.
Because he's not here permanently. He's here on like a work break.
Gotcha.
Trying to find himself, and I've given him sort of like that sort of like flexibility, understanding that like, okay, maybe he's not like emotionally he's emotionally not available, but based on what he said.
Y'all haven't slept together, have you?
Pardon?
Y'all haven't slept together, have you?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Did he try?
Like, obviously, because there's chemistry there. Like, obviously, there's interest to, you know, continue. But
did he try to sleep with you on the first date?
No, he didn't. He was really respectful.
Okay.
Like, super gentleman-like. Yeah. Just really friendly. Like, kind of like, just nice guy.
Gotcha. Yeah, more than likely, it's just he's being overwhelmed with options right now. If he's on a dating app and he's not, I'm sure he's a very attractive guy. So he's on holiday right now, so he's probably matching with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And this is just like likely can't handle all the volume.
Okay.
Yeah. Likely
All right. Thank you.
All right, love. Best of luck to you.
All right. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Hello. Hey, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm married.
Okay.
My question. So I went to marriage counseling before I got married, and a couple times after. That's my question. Should you keep going to counseling, especially if the other person doesn't want to continue because they feel like it? I guess the problem hasn't been solved. It's a lot in my situation. We've been married 2 years, and he's currently out the house right now. Since I'm married, I didn't want to end it, I guess. So that's why I've been trying so hard to keep it. But he has, as far as I know, not been physically with anybody, but he's talked to several women since we've been married.
So that's the problem? He keeps talking to other women? Like...
Yes.
Okay. How did you find out about this?
Me looking at his phone.
Okay. What made you want to look at his phone?
Because it's been happening for a while, so I just periodically just look and see something. One time it was he had left his phone in my car, and I didn't know, and it had dinged, and then I looked at it. I was like, oh, he left his phone, and I looked, and it was a text message of a female, and then that's when I kept looking and scrolling and stuff like that.
What's the context of the messages? What are they talking about?
He's trying to meet him and saying, like, you know, talking sexually to them.
Okay. It's not a workable situation, love.
Okay.
It would be one thing if he was cheating and trying to work on this, but you're basically saying he's cheating. It's not a one-off situation. It's something that he's consistently doing, and now he's not even trying to go to counseling to solve the problem. That's not, you can't work with that.
Okay.
Right. If he was willing to work on it, like, sure, you can try, but like he's not trying to work on it. So this isn't something that you can solve.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
No problem, love. You take care.
All right.
That's tough. Cheating 2 years in? Jesus Christ. Buddy couldn't wait to get out there. Arlene is back. Let's see. Oh, she might have dipped out already. Hold on. All right, let me see. Maggie. Did she drop too? Arlene, you might got a connection issue, love. I saw you requested a few times, but it keeps dropping when I try to bring you up. Try it again. You got to get right next to the router. Arlene, what's up?
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me? What's up?
What's going on?
So I'm just calling you back. Honestly, yesterday I felt like it was a bit rushed and I just didn't get my question answered. My main question was not even in reference to the situation with that specific person.
Okay.
Just in general, he did come at me with like we don't know if it's true, right? He came at me with, hey, I'm feeling depressed. I'm gonna go MIA. Pretty much that's what I got from that entire conversation, the reason why he called. Whether or not that was true, I don't know. I have a best guy friend who tells me that that isn't true, that 99% of the time men lie to women. I shouldn't believe him. Like I said, I was just trying to be sweet. I was trying to be nice, trying to be there for him, which is why I offered to bring over dinner that I had cooked for him.
Sure.
He responded, like I said, the next morning, he responded that same night saying, hey, my bad, I fell asleep. I never called you back. I jumped on another call, but no, I'm not hungry. I appreciate it. And I just chose not to respond. More so for him, I just want to give the guy some space, let him do what he needs to do, and that's fine. Like, we can go our separate ways. But my question was, if I would have chosen, right, to have been there for him, or for example, let's say today or tomorrow or next week, I want to text him, hey, are you good? Like, you're feeling okay? Like, how are you? Not in the context of dating, just want to check in on him as a friend. From my past experience, I feel like if you're there for a man emotionally, when they are not ready to commit, it's sort of like saying when a man's not ready financially to commit, they're not going to if you stay there. So that's my question. I guess I'm not wording it correctly, but what are the perks and the cons of choosing to be there for him? And let's say he calls back next month, or let's say I run into the same issue again with someone else.
Yeah,
I felt bad because I didn't respond to him, right? So he probably already got the point, like, oh, she's upset, like that's done and over with, right? Yeah. So I'm moving on. I'm not gonna hit her back up because she didn't even text me back.
Yeah.
Right.
I got you.
So yeah, I just didn't know if I how to handle the situation. I guess that's my question.
The core problem here that I'm seeing is that you're kind of anxiously attached.
Yeah.
Right. So that means you're going to unconsciously attract people who are emotionally unavailable, because you feel you have a belief that you have to earn love, right? So you connect with people who make you work for it. You see what I'm saying? So with this guy, you have to work for it. You're putting in a lot of effort to win him over because that's what you perceive love to be, right? It's already not a healthy dynamic. This is I know you're asking this on multiple levels. You're asking like, okay, in this specific situation, but then also like just generally speaking, how would I deal with this situation, right? So the first thing is, you said a couple of key things. The first one is you want to check on him as a friend. Problem with that is you're not friends. There's somebody you're dating and vetting for a relationship.
I agree, correct.
Right? A friendship is mutually agreed upon, right? A friendship is not one-sided. He does not view you as a friend, right? So there's no need for you to check on him as a friend because you do not have that relationship. You're someone who was dating him and then you ended it, so now he back to being just somebody you dated in the past, right? That's the label that's attached to your connection. Okay. You continuing to be there will just be you abandoning yourself and preventing you from connecting with somebody else, because your energy and attention will be wrapped up into this person who you know it's not going to work with, which then clogs your bandwidth from entertaining another connection. Does that make sense? So in both this situation and generally, once you know, if you have romantic intent and then that doesn't play out, it is now time to end the connection fully.
I agree 1,000%. Yeah. Like I was never trying to be, you know, his homegirl, or, you know, I even felt like the conversation when he called me, it was a little long. You know, it was like a 10-minute phone call, but I didn't want to be that woman that sat there on the phone and heard him vent about, you know, his situation with his ex. That's what I got from the conversation.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't think it was, you know, he tried to play it and make it seem like, oh, like, you know, I'm just calling you out of respect because you mentioned to me one day, you know, that respect is very big for you and communication. So I'm just calling you because it's been, you know, 4 or 5 days. And I know, you know, you haven't heard from me. So I just wanted to let you know why. I genuinely wanted to believe him. Like I said, I reached out to you and I called you because I felt like you were going to have a more like educated approach to the situation. I went to my best friend initially, and I know sometimes that's not the best person to go to, right? A best friend, he's not my best friend, but he's a good friend, right? He's a guy, and I know that he, you know, it's he probably doesn't view me as a friend, right? I view him as a friend.
Yeah.
So when I went to him about it, he was just like, Arlene, because I had already decided I'm not going to text you back. I'm going to just let it go, and that's it. But then he was like, oh, well, you know, that was very sweet of you that you were going to bring him dinner. Like, I don't see a problem with that. And I didn't see a problem that you went to see him at work. And I did. I thought he got scared, which is why I initially called you. So that's it. You know, I just wanted to get, like, someone else's perspective.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because you don't know me, right? And you don't really know the situation. But the advice that you give is very valuable.
I appreciate you, Arlene. Like I told you, you can always come to North Carolina, love. It's a nice, a nice spot.
I know.
You can always get on that plane.
Moving is in the works, and it is, like, I am willing to move, you know, to find that person, for sure, absolutely.
Exactly.
And I know that, you know, there's things I need to work on, and for me, it was a great learning experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, no more DJs. No more DJs.
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, keep me posted, love, all right?
Bye. Yes, have a good day. Thanks, bye.
Take care. All right, we got Express is back.
Just a quick update. Thank you so much, chat. We have tacked it up almost to 70. Where are we now? 70. Almost 73. Okay. The goal is 115, but we're gonna give y'all a break today. We're just gonna dial it down to 100K.
Yeah.
So we're asking for the next 5 minutes while he helps this last panel guest. We can just double tap until that time is over. 500 members of us here, and he doesn't ask for much. So let's just do it for him one more time.
Appreciate you, Express.
I'm out. Thanks. Welcome to Signal Day.
All right. Okay, who we got? What's going on, man?
Peace, bro. So, my question is, I was listening a little bit earlier. We were talking to the young lady. I think her name was Alex. I could be mistaken, but she was asking you for some sort of guidance in terms of like how to get back into dating. She mentioned, you know, about losing her parents, and maybe that can kind of bring it back to what we were talking about. But you said you can kind of elaborate a little bit more on that. And I was hoping we can kind of touch base on that a little bit more.
Elaborate on what? I got ADHD, bro. So I'll say things and forget what I said, so it's kind of jog my memory.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you with the ADHD. But no, she was just saying, you know, she's trying to get back into the whole dating space. And she's been having some, you know, she's had some time away. She had experienced homelessness. And you were kind of just basically giving her some points. You also mentioned that you started out primarily just talking to guys. And so as a guy myself, I'm just, you know, tapping in to kind of get some feedback as to like some ways you can get back into like the dating space, but in a bit more of a concentrated way, if that makes sense.
Got you. Okay. So you're trying to move like intentionally?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I've kind of been in a space of like solitude. You know, I haven't really been like connected with my friends. I just kind of been building my life.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship about 2 months ago that ended. It was like for about 7 months. I had to kind of get out of that relationship. And yeah, the dating app thing just doesn't work for me. If I'm honest, I like to be in person and meet people in person. But yeah, I like intentional dating. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What are you good at, and what kind of hobbies do you have?
So what I do for work is I'm a traveling musician for work.
Okay.
Some of my hobbies include like I like Muay Thai. I enjoy fighting. I play a little bit of guitar. Those are like my primary hobbies right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to meet women in person?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you not approach the women at your shows?
You know what? That space for me is a little. I mean, I've been a musician for a while, so that space for me is different. You know, I feel like people kind of they have their own ideas as to like what I guess that life kind of includes. That's been my experience. You know, I've met women when I'm at my shows and things like that, and those tend to be like short-lived, just like hookup situations. And I'm not really interested in just hooking up at this point. You know, I'm kind of, like I said, more in the mindset of being intentional.
So the women that you were meeting in your shows, you already get the vibe that like they want trying to have sex, essentially.
Yeah, it's definitely mostly a sex driven kind of like space, and that could be fun, but that's not the angle.
It's hard, bro. I posted some content about this before. It is deep. I'm trying to see about how deep I want to go into it. How much time do I have? Are you familiar with my content, or are you new here?
Yeah, I've been kind of peeping in for a while.
Okay. Do you know what I talk about when I talk about like spark and safety? Do you know what I'm referring to?
No, you might have to fill me in on that.
Okay. So there's two sides of attraction. I call them spark and safety, right? So spark is anything that makes a woman like desire you, crave you. You emotionally stimulate her, right? You put her in her body a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay? So looking good, smelling good, dressing well, playing instruments, being able to sing, right? Being creative like that, being bold, confident, you know, having a good sense of humor. These are things that give off spark, that make women desire you, right?
Right.
Having boundaries is another one, right? Not pedestalizing her. Safety is anything that makes the woman feel like safe and connected. Okay? So traits that give off safety are going to be emotional intelligence, emotional attunement, having a genuine interest in her world, right? Protector, provider, that kind of stuff. Being chivalrous. These are all safety traits. Now the problem is most guys only check one of those two boxes. Okay? So the spark guys are typically like the fuck boys. They can get a lot of women. They can have a lot of sex, right? But because they're lacking safety, they can't hold the connection. So women ultimately leave, right? The safety guys typically turn into the nice guys, right? These are the guys, it's harder for them to get women, but even if they do get the woman, it'll probably be like a dead bedroom situation, right? She doesn't have actual desire, right, for the man in question. So the goal is to get both spark and safety. Okay. Need to give you that foundational understanding for me to go further. You're basically describing a situation where you're in a spark-heavy environment and you're doing a spark-heavy thing. So women essentially look at you as a piece of meat. Right? It's the experience. So I made a piece of content months ago that's like, I was talking to like attractive guys, because they didn't understand like why so many women would like one night them. Attractive guys have that reality sometimes, right? Where it's like,
sure,
oh, I can sleep with these women very easily, but then some of them, like, yeah, some may stick around, but I'm seeing a pattern where they're dipping out, and it's because they're treating you like a piece of meat now, right? So a good strategy for men who are very attractive like that, you kind of have to move like a woman a little bit, where you don't want to rush to sex, right? You got to pace it. You have to find a way to humanize yourself in her eyes, right? It's almost like if you get kidnapped or something like that, and they tell you like to tell them you have like a wife and kids, right? You got to humanize yourself. They need to look at you as a person.
Right.
So that's the one mistake that spark heavy guys make, is that they sleep with the woman too quickly, and they're being used as a piece of meat. So one strategy shift is to hold off on sleeping with the woman in question, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I hear what you said about the environment that you're talking about. Like if you meet them in the environment where you're actually playing, because that's like your most attractive environment, right? You're a good-looking guy, you're on stage, you're singing or you're playing the guitar, right? Women are really, music puts women in their body, so they're probably in a state that's prime for them to be turned on, right? So that is going to be a hookup like environment. So I get your dilemma.
Can I add something to?
Yeah, add some more
So
context.
my last relationship, it ended about 2 months ago. It lasted for about 7 months. This
Yeah.
was kind of, that was what you just explained was kind of like my experience. So I kind of, because I have experience with that, I did take my time with like, you know, getting intimate and things. Like I wasn't like rushed into that space, and that was something I even communicated to her. You know, I let her know, like, you know, especially in this sort of like society that we live in, it's so easy to get sex. I feel like in this time, and you know, I told her, you know, I wanted to kind of take my times, and I think that was something that was attractive to her. And I think as the relationship sort of progressed, we kind of got into a space where she kind of got comfortable, and I started to see like shifts in her, sort of like, and you know, her energy shifted completely. I think she started to move a little different, kind of coming into my world. And I travel a lot for work. I do a lot of like corporate events and things like that. And so coming into that world, I think that she kind of got a little comfortable really quickly, and it almost seemed as if like her world didn't stop taking you know, her world kind of let me find the right way to say this. I want to make sure I'm representing her well. She wasn't a bad girl at all, but I think she got so comfortable with just seeing what my world consisted of that I just the dynamic shifted, and I guess I'm trying to find out the right way to say it. I started to learn, so she wasn't, I started to learn that she wasn't fully transparent. So I learned, she told me that she was in a relationship like 1.5 years ago, and then as the relationship progressed, I learned that it was only 2 months before I met her that she had just gotten out of a relationship. So I felt like she was just trying to rush into something that felt secure.
Yeah.
And I can still feel remnants of that previous relationship and our dynamic.
Got
Started to make sense to me as that relationship went on, you know?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. What does your social life look like?
I'm a homebody, man. So when I'm not working, I like to go to the gym. I like to work out. I do like to do Muay Thai. But I spend a lot of time with my family. So it's work, it's family, and I'm also just actively building my life, you know?
Understood. Are you religious?
I got a good relationship with God, but I wouldn't call myself religious necessarily.
Okay. So you're
That
not
makes sense.
no church. You're not going to church or anything like that?
Nah.
Okay. That's fine. I just want to see I'm trying to see what we can work with.
Yeah.
Try to see what we can work with. You have a real constraint because it's like there's ways to make it happen. It's just you put an emphasis on in person. So that's there's other ways to meet women though other than in person, but it's like that's what you emphasize. So that's where I'm thinking.
I got meet women in coffee shops. Sometimes I'll go there. I've met women in coffee shops. I don't really go out, man. Honestly, I'm pretty much a homebody.
That's your main constraint right now is the fact that you're like if you're an attractive guy, right? So like just putting you in the room with the woman is going to all the heavy lifting is done. Where I'm thinking is what room to put you in. That's where my brain is going, right? It's like, okay, what room does this guy go in if he isn't very social and he works a job where he travels and he's a musician, right? So the first instinct was like, is there a type of community orientation that connects to music? Like meetups where people who are musically inclined will go.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm not experienced that, but just using logic, I'm sure something like that must exist.
Yeah.
Right? So we got to think like creatively about this. It's like, okay, the music is the pillar that I'm orienting around. You said speakeasy. We don't want him to be positioned in like a speakeasy or like anything that's nighttime focused, because the women are just going to want to sleep with him for the most part. Not all of them. There probably would be some women who have the same type of, intentions that you do, but the majority of them, to your earlier point, like you're not making that up. That's been your experience. That's your lived experience, is when you meet women in that context, they're probably just looking for like a one night stand or something like that. So my brain also goes to you teaching music lessons, like group music lessons. That's another thing.
Okay.
Maybe like volunteer your efforts in that way to where you can start meeting people. We need you to start meeting people. That's the main thing. You're attractive enough to where it's like once you get one person in your orbit and they know someone else is single, they're going to tell that person about you. That makes sense?
It does make sense, yeah.
So you just got to position yourself in that way. So we need you meeting the right people in the right context, and then just letting the natural things take its course, right?
Yeah.
So you're probably going to have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. You're probably going to have to put yourself in some like community like spaces, right? And that's only if you're like you're very sold on it being in person.
Yeah. See, I prefer it to not be something that's connected to music at all. I would like to, an ideal situation is to meet a woman in her element where I can kind of like, fall in interest in whatever she's got going on.
Okay.
I would and then gradually bring her into my world. You know what I'm saying? Like I love when I meet a woman that just has her own world. You know what I mean? She has the interests that she's into, where she's not fully consumed into what the relationship is. She got her own world going on. You know what I mean?
Okay,
she's focused on the things that
let's take a different direction. What's like your ideal woman?
Oh man, I love a kind woman. I love a woman who got a sense of style.
Okay.
I love a woman who's direct and knows what it is that she wants.
Okay.
Who is different from me but also similar in core values, like the things that are important to us on a core level, we are locked in on, but like she's completely different from me. A woman with a sense of humor, a woman that's fit, a woman who knows how to have a conversation, a shared conversation, right? Where it's not just you dominating that space, but you also know how to care for and nurture. I come from a family where the women in my family are very nurturing, so that's important to me, to be able to feel a woman's embrace. That's very important to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're describing a rare woman, by the way.
You know what? I got hope, man.
Yeah, I know that she exists. Don't get me wrong, but like, I do this shit for a living. I rarely come across. You're describing a lot of contradictory qualities. That's what I mean. It's rare. Because you're describing someone who's direct yet feminine. That's contradicts, right? Because the feminine woman is likely not going to be direct. And then direct woman is likely not going to be that feminine. They exist. It's just rare. It's not impossible. It's rare. You're not just going to throw a rock and hit a woman like that.
I hear you.
It's not going to happen. Now, if you yourself are also that dynamic, right? Because she also has to be, one thing you haven't listed is very attractive also, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right, so we gotta also put that variable in there. So that makes it even more rare, because there's women who are not super physically attractive who may have both those qualities, right? But now we put the variable of like very attractive also. All right, making it even more rare now. And fit, someone just pointed out, even rarer. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you're describing a very rare person. Go ahead, because he also got to be single. She also has to be single, right? So it's like now it's get more rare, and then want you, getting more rare. Now, if you are also a dynamic man, right, where you also have contradictory qualities, where you can be masculine, but then also you've integrated your feminine side as well. You can touch creativity, but then you also are very logical, right? If you are yourself dynamic, then that makes you a match for that woman. Now it's just a matter of meeting her, right? So she's likely not on a dating app, because a woman like that probably wouldn't need one, right? It's possible that she's up there, but she's probably not, right? She's certainly not at any kind of speed dating events, okay? Woman like that is going to be at networking spaces, right? So she's probably going to be very career focused. So you're probably going to see her at networking spaces. You might run into her at like museums, because you're also describing someone who's intellectually stimulating. So that tells me that like intellectual intimacy is something that you value.
Absolutely. Yeah. If I can't talk to you,
but intellectual intimacy and being nurturing are also contradictory qualities, because these things overlap with attachment styles too. Avoidant women tend to be very intellectually stimulating, because the way that they connect is through the mind usually. But guess what you're not going to get when you get an avoidant woman? Someone who's probably also very nurturing. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a very rare thing. Okay? They do exist. It's very rare. So if this woman exists, and how old are you?
I'm 36.
You're 36. What's your age range for her?
I've dated older women. Yeah. I would say the oldest I'm willing to go is like about 40, and the youngest I would go is like 32, 33.
Okay, so she's likely she's likely divorced. She's likely divorced. That woman did not make it through her 20s unmarried. Somebody locked her down. 100%. Somebody locked her down.
Yeah.
So if she's available, she's divorced. She probably also has kids. What you just said, right? So it's like, I'm just giving you the reality of the situation, right? You also got to think like she's probably going to be in the bigger cities. You'll probably find her, especially in intellectually stimulating cities like DC, Chicago, New York. I'm not saying that's 100% where she's going to be, but you see how I'm thinking about this?
The likelihood.
Yeah. So you just want to show up in spaces where they're more likely going to be.
I got you.
Because you're describing a beautiful, single, intelligent, career-oriented, securely attached, psychologically integrated woman who's also emotionally available, right? It's going to be rare. But if that's what you want, that's what you want. And if you're a match for it, you're a match for it. It's just a matter of like, you're going to really have to lean into patience. And you're going to have to put yourself in environments where she is. Also, understand what you may be able to compromise on.
Yeah, you said kid earlier. You know what? I usually try to stay away from kids. I don't mind one kid as long as there's a healthy dynamic in that space. Obviously, I don't want to walk into any muddy waters. Mm-hmm. And he also said something about DC. I'll actually be in DC in like 2 weeks. So maybe that's an opportunity to kind of check out some spots.
So are you like willing to relocate if you were to find her in a different city?
Yeah, sure. Because in my line of work, I travel a lot. So, if I have, if the connection is there, I've grown up, like I said, I've seen, relationships work over time. If the connection is there and she's locked in and really about it in the same way, then absolutely I'll travel. without question.
That helps. You being willing to travel is going to help you a lot in this situation. That makes it a bit more. It increases the likelihood slightly. But I would definitely encourage you to like look at that list and then don't treat every quality as if it's equal. Like really get clear on like the real top traits that you're looking for. So separate it from need to haves and nice to haves. And if you find a woman who has all the need to haves and she's emotionally available and chooses you, lock in. Don't wait for someone who has a need to haves and the nice to haves. Right? Because there's two types of people, right? There's maximizers and satisficers. Maximizers are trying to get the best possible option they can. They can have something good in front of them, but they're like, there's better out there. I know I'm trying to get the best, right? Satisficers have this mentality where they say good enough is perfect, right? That's not settling. That's them saying you meet what I need you to meet. Yeah, you could have additional attributes, but what you currently have is enough for me, right? Another way of phrasing that, they met someone who had the need to haves, but then not all the nice to haves. The maximizer's like, I need the nice to haves too. So based on those two people, who do you think is more likely to get what they want, and who do you think is more satisfied when it comes to life?
Yeah.
Who do you think? Who do you think?
That's a good mindset shift too.
Yeah, satisfizer. So when you come across someone who has those need to haves, right? Lock in. Don't wait for, because here's the thing, because it's actually a decision you have to make, because sometimes maximizers do get what they want, but it's a very risky gamble. You might crap out. It's a very risky gamble. It's a better play to be a satisfizer when it comes to relationships. And when someone's in front of you, they got the need to have, you lock in, all right? So hopefully you got some value out of that, man. I know we didn't like get all the way to the nitty gritty.
No, man, that was helpful, man. It was really helpful.
Yeah.
Appreciate
all right, bro.
It. Much respect, brother. God bless you, man.
Appreciate you, bro. You keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chief. You take care.
All right, bro.
I went longer than I expected. Okay. It's good we got a guy in here for y'all ladies, man. I know it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often. Normally there's like a lot of beautiful women in like the chat who engage and stuff like that. So I'm very satisfied. I love this shit, right? I see y'all popping up right now. I appreciate you. Beautiful profile pics, but I know sometimes y'all can be left deprived. So glad to see we got somebody coming through. I'm not healed enough for his liking. You say you're not heating up? Eva, you was who I was thinking of. When he was talking, he said he was coming to DC. I'm like, hey, Eva in DC, man. Eva out there. She gonna leave once you get close, but you know, y'all gonna have a good 2 months. Y'all will have a great 2 months, but she's definitely gonna leave you after those 2 months elapse. Are you Ethiopian? No. Just regular old black, bro. Just regular old black. Any last minute questions in the chat before I wrap things up? Any last minute questions in the chat? I like talking to guys like him because it's like, I like talking to guys who one are similar to me in terms of like intention, but also what they're trying to solve for is like a hard problem. I like trying to solve hard problems. Where he's at is a hard problem. Like he's the male equivalent of like women who are like 6 feet, 6 figures. But he didn't know that though, right? Because it's like when you start describing people who have contradictory qualities, you're in very rare territory. Like my spark and safety concept, me helping men be able to cultivate both spark and safety inherently makes them more dynamic individuals, right? So they become more rare. But there's just not a lot of rare people out there. There's a lot of people who are like, they fit very neatly in a box. Like when you meet them, you're like, I've met someone just like you before. I've met a few people like you before. You're like an archetype. So for what he is looking for, it'll be some time. She definitely does exist, but it's going to be quite the challenge. By default, most people are average. Absolutely, Prevo. Prevo, where are you at, Prevo? Because you be popping in the chat. You don't be answering my questions. I'm getting frustrated. Are you in the U.S. or out of the U.S.? You're in Sweden. You about to be blocked. I done planned out our wedding, kids, vacations, all that stuff. Mentally. Unbeknownst to you. Just mentally, after the lives. You're in Sweden. What are you doing in Sweden? Then they have people like you in Sweden. I thought it was all white folk. I know you're African, but what are you doing in Sweden? What are we doing? So there's a lot of Africans in Sweden? Miles, how much will it cost for me to go to Sweden? What's the price on that? I need to know the price on the Sweden trip. Cause I don't know, I just feel like me and Prevo need to connect. I don't know, it's just my gut instinct, It's cheap, okay? All right. That's the 1K for a flight. I know Eva know. Eva she don't stay put. She don't stay put. Yeah, Prevo's interesting because her identity is hidden. So I don't even know what Prevo looks like. One hell of a chin. Great chin. That lower half of your face works. Eva can come too. What questions y'all got for me in the chat? Am I dating? Nah. Not dating right now. Would you ever wear a wig? I used to make skits. I wore wigs all the time. Diamond, I'm not cheating on you, love. I ain't done anything. It's just some harmless flirting. What we got is special too, Diamond. This is all an act. This is all an act. I have a question about men who are lone wolves and lack male community. I have a question about men who are lone wolves and lacks male. Okay, what's your question? You gotta come over here with a toupee one day. When I retired my skits, I let go of all the wigs, so I don't have a toupee, unfortunately. You gonna buy me one? Marquette is waiting for me to get my shit together, so he is not dating. Zach, I need Eva to heal first, man. Once Eva heals, we'll be locked in. I told you I need my African queen, so may the best African woman win. No, half of the advice that I give is most of it's from lived experience. So the reason why I know you have to lean into patience and how you have to take breaks is because I've had to do that in my personal life. And the reason why I know that you can't optimize for sex and connection simultaneously is because historically I've tried to, right? So it's like earlier on in my dating history, I was operating out of alignment, right? And that negatively influenced like my ability to connect with people. So I learned the lesson, like if you're going to be intentional, you have to take breaks and you have to just accept the cost that comes with optimizing for connection, which is most people aren't going to be able to show up in the way that you need them to show up. Listen, her chin must be gorgeous. Yeah, y'all didn't see Prevo? Let me see. Is Prevo still in the chat? She might have. Did I scare her off? No, there she is. I don't want to be a target. I mean, it's too late, Prevo. If you didn't want to be a target, you should have had a different profile pic. I'm going to be honest with you. You've already been identified, already locked on. It's already wraps, to be honest with you. Once I get locked on a target, it's over for you. So it's just a matter of time now. I'll see you soon. I will see you soon. Like Isaac just said, target acquired. I try to come up and ask my question. Did you request? I don't want to take no more calls right now. I'm just shooting the shit with the chat. I normally don't do this. Normally I end by now, but my Vyvanse has my brain like stimulated, so I'm very verbal right now. Hannah, did you leave and come back? Hannah, don't be leaving me. I need I need an army of mods here. I need all my mods here at all times. Why do men communicate the easy things, attraction, desire, future plans, and then go swimming? Hold on, let me see. I mean, there's a multitude of different reasons, right? So you can look at this from like attachment style perspective, but then also, real quick, let me go on tangent. The one thing I don't like about attachment styles and attachment theory is that people try to use it to explain away everything, right? Maybe I've been guilty of that in the past. I came to that insight the other live when were y'all here for like the avoidant live where people kept asking me questions and it was like everybody was avoidant, like all the people the questions were about were avoidantly attached people. People look at attachment theory as if it explains any and everything about like relationships and dating, and it doesn't, right? That's why earlier in this live I was telling people that, you know, an attachment style is not your personality. It's just a group of behaviors that are used to save you from a perceived threat, right? You can have two avoidant people who show up in the relationship totally differently. You can have two anxious people who show up in the relationship totally differently. Like you have to factor in like character as well. So like my ex is avoidant, but she has good character, right? Decent character, right? Good is probably strong. Okay character. Not a bad person, right? That's why we co-parent very effectively. She's not a bad person. She's not a malicious person or anything like that, right? But there are avoidants who are bad people, who have poor character, and they will do you very dirty. Same thing is true with anxious people. So back to your question. Why do men communicate the easy things, attraction, desire, future plans, and then ghost women? One of that could be they are avoidant. What they are saying at that time is a true representation of how they felt. They got close to you, that scared them, and then they ran. That's the attachment perspective, okay? Now let's talk about it from a character perspective. You could be dealing with men who tell you those things because they perceive that this needs to be communicated in order to sleep with you, and then they sleep with you, and then they leave. Do you see the distinction? See why you can't just always be like, oh, it's anxious, avoidant. Like, yeah, that's part of it, but it's not the full picture. Yeah, avoidant is the new narcissist. Co-parenting with an avoidant sounds like hell. Again, it's not, because Mess is a therapist. So, it's really not. It's not a problem at all. No bad blood, no issues. It's just communication, clear communication. But again, y'all take avoidant as being evil. Y'all take avoidant as being like Satan personified. It's not like that. There are like good people who are also avoidantly attached. And then there are bad people who are avoidantly attached. Or let's say people who have quality character. I hate the good and bad framing. People who have quality character who are avoidantly attached, and people who have quality character who have lower quality character who are avoidantly attached. Those are the ones who will like ghost you after the first date, or they won't even break up with you. They'll just ghost you. I had a few callers where they were like, the person they were with just in a relationship with just stopped talking to them. Okay, that's somebody with poor character. Avoidant is narc behavior. Yeah, the way I've had it, psychologists explain it to me was, you think about like a spectrum. Avoidant attachment and narcissism exist on the same spectrum, and narcissism is just the extreme of avoidant. And then BPD, borderline personality disorder, exists on the same spectrum as anxious attachment, and BPD is the extreme of that. I know someone who ghosted his girlfriend after 2 years. That's crazy. You know I would never do that to you, right, Prevo? I would never ghost you. I would never do it. My love is true and consistent. I do occasionally ghost after the first date. I don't think explanations are needed after one encounter. Disagree with you, Andrea. Disagree with you, love. I feel like once you meet in person, now you gotta kinda let them know what's going on. You know? If you never meet and you ghost, whatever, right? But like if I meet you face to face, you shoot them a little test. Shoot them a little test. That's all. Unless you feel like you're in danger, I would say so. I mean, yeah, sure. If you feel like sending them a text is going to like make them snap, come after you. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that, right? I have a big problem with ghosting. Just let me know so I can move on in peace. I feel that. Just to say thank you for the food. That's how you show them you're not interested. You thank them for the food and keep it moving. What if y'all both just stop talking? I mean, somebody was the last one to message, right? I've only ghosted one woman. This was early. I ghosted one woman who absolutely did not deserve it. I typically don't ghost at all unless like, if you annoy me or get disrespectful, I will ghost you. There's one woman I ghosted and it was complete accident. You ever be in a situation where it's like, you meant to respond and then you didn't? And then days later, week or two later, you realize you didn't respond. And now you're like, well, I kind of can't respond now, right? Kind of too late. Because they're going to assume I was playing with them. Yeah. Swear to God, accidental ghosting. Had no intention of doing it. Now, you can make the argument that if you are even in a situation where you accidentally ghosted somebody, then you probably didn't like them like that. True. Did not like her like that. But still didn't mean to ghost her though. Yeah, exactly what you just said. Damn, she wasn't that important for real then. 100%. I had to learn that about myself. I learned about myself probably I would say probably like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that I cannot do casual. I can't do it. Not because I can't enjoy a casual connection. It's just if we're casual, it just means I don't like you like that. 'Cause if I like you like that, I'm gonna want a relationship with you, right? So if I don't like you like that, I'm just not gonna want to talk to you. Like I legitimately have ADHD. So I mean, if you're not important to me, I will forget about your existence. Oh, 100% forget. It's out of sight, out of mind. I will forget about your existence. And it's like, not in a malicious way. It's just, you're not sticky up here. You know what I mean? You're just not sticky up here. It's not like, oh, you're not an important person, like in the general sense. It's more like, I haven't slotted you in my brain as like someone who's important in my world. Therefore, it doesn't even occur to me to engage you like that. So I'm like, I gotta end things. Am I still taking guests? No, I'm just shooting the shit with the chat. Got to build a connection with your chat, you know what I mean? Your supporters. I rarely do this. So if you got a question, you can drop it in the chat before I get off here. But I'm gonna stay up here while I'm still just chatting. And that's okay. I wish more women knew that. You wish more women knew what? ADHD so wild, I can barely pay attention to one thing at a time. Entertain multiple. Yeah, bro, I literally just started taking medication for ADHD like a week ago. Vyvanse has changed my life, bro. Completely changed my life. It's even like enhanced my ability to answer these questions. People used to say when I first started doing these lives, you would have somebody rambling and I would let them talk and people would be like, oh, he's so patient. I'm like, I'm not patient at all. I'm disassociating. So they're talking and I've trained my brain to latch on to the important thing that they're saying. But if what they're saying isn't important, I'm just like, okay, either I'm going to cut you off or I'm just think about Lion King or some shit. I can't do it. What's up, buddy? You need something? Oh, in a minute. I'll be done. We'll go over there. Do you think no depth in conversation is a deal breaker when dating? It depends on if that's something that you really value, right? So for me, it's hard because I like intellectual intimacy. So I like to connect with people, I like to be intellectually stimulated with whatever woman that I'm dating. And I've been debating of if that's a need to have or a nice to have, right? Because in my past relationship, I didn't get that. I would read a book and I would tell my ex about something that I learned and she would just look at me dumbfounded, I couldn't care less about this shit. So I had to, it was very frustrating. Shit was very annoying. But I had to, ultimately I concluded that no one person can be everything to you. So I had to have people in my life who I could have that type of connection with, right? And that worked. So then it gave me the thought well, how important is it really? Is that a nice to have? So now I kind of slide it in the nice to have category. It's not a need to have. Because when I was treating it as a need to have, I just kept meeting a lot of women who are avoidant. Because it's typically avoidant women who are intellectually stimulating. Because they escape their emotions by being in their head. They tend to escape the feelings they don't want to feel by focusing on their career, focusing on intellectual pursuits. Therefore, they become intellectually stimulating, right? And we didn't want that, so we had to change what we were looking for to a degree. That's not to say that only avoidant women can be intellectually stimulating either. It's just it's a higher probability, right? There's secure women who are intellectually stimulating. There's also anxious women who are that way. But it's a trait that a lot of avoidant people share. Yeah, sometimes friends can feel the intellectual 100%. That's why I said I had to lean upon friends for that. And when I did, it made the relationship quality improve because I wasn't expecting the person I was with to check that box, right? Can you be happy with a high functioning avoidant? Maybe. It's possible. If she had high capacity and she was actually working on things, yeah. Because I am secure, right? Tough spot to be as a man, being secure. The current dating marketplace is not... The current culture is not a good match for people who are secure, especially not men who are securely attached. Best thing to be right now is avoidant. It's the best thing to be. But because I'm secure, I could work with an avoidant person because I don't need them to be I don't need to be up their ass 24/7. You know what I mean? I don't need them to be with me 24/7. I have my own stuff going on. I have my own life. So I don't mind a woman who has her own life, right? But if we're talking about someone who can't be vulnerable, right? You got to really be working on it. Because my experience with dating avoidant women is you do a little shit they won't give you compliments. Sexual intimacy drops as well. That's the one thing. A lot of people don't talk about that when it comes to people who are avoidantly attached. Sexual intimacy is a threat to them because it's intimacy. They don't want intimacy. So that's another way that they kind of create distance in the connection. So it's like, when you say high functioning, do you mean that they're working on those things? Because also, like, this is happening unconsciously. They're not deciding to do this. Their unconscious literally makes it so it decreases the desire they have for you so that they remain safe. It's not them making a decision. If you were to question them about it, they would not know how to answer you because they don't fucking know. So it's hard, right? It's very difficult. All right, last few questions. My phone's on 7%. I got to wrap this up soon. Last few questions in the chat or comments. Do you do one-on-ones? Yeah, link for coaching in my bio, bro. How to handle these men trying to jump straight into intimacy after meeting. Just don't let them. But also, like, don't judge them either. What I mean by that is, men are going to want to sleep with you. It's very normal behavior, right? I'm talking outside of a Christian frame, by the way. Different conversation within the Christian context. Talking about in a worldly context, right? Men are going to try to sleep with you. It's very natural. There's this thing where women are like, oh, I want a man with sexual discipline. I hear you, but that's a hard trait to judge because most men don't try to sleep with you, not because they're sexually disciplined, but because they don't think they can, right? Or they think trying to sleep with you this early is going to scare you off. So that's why they're not trying. It's not because they're like, oh, I treat my body like a temple and you must earn access to. No, that's bullshit. They just don't think they can, or they're afraid if they try, it's going to scare you off. That's all. So someone who's trying isn't necessarily a red flag. How they respond to you setting a boundary can be a red flag, though. So like if you're like, no now, and they get mad, they get like pissy about it, oh, that's the red flag, right? The one who's like, oh, okay, they understand, it's workable. It's workable. You'd prefer a man who has enough confidence to try to sleep with you than the one who wants to sleep with you but doesn't try because he's a scared of what might happen, right? The one trying is the more quality man, right? Now, within the Christian context, different conversation because they're trying to appease God, right? So, but then some of that also works there too. I don't think this kind of connects to like a conversation I wanted to have. I've seen other people post about it, but I hate people who claim to have a virtue that hasn't been tested. So you'll see like Christian men talk about how they're abstaining. And I'm like, well, of course you're abstaining. No one would fuck you. So you're not really, I can't tip my hat to that because you're not fuckable. I don't understand. You're not doing it. I respect you more if you were fuckable and then you were like, no, I'm not going to. Right? I respect that. But you built like Sherman Klump and you talking about how you abstaining. I'm like, I don't think you had a choice in the matter. It's the same thing with like people who claim to not cheat. It's like, you can't cheat. Outside of paying for it. Maybe you're broke and you can't pay for it either. But yeah, you hear a guy like, oh, I'll never cheat. I used to work with a guy like that. Oh, he never cheated. I'm looking at him. I'm like, bro, you don't have the ability to. You don't have the ability to cheat. You don't know. You cannot claim a virtue unless you are in a situation where it can actually be tested. Right? You don't know you have a virtue until it can be tested. So you don't know how faithful you are until your inbox is flooded. Right? That'll show you how faithful you are. This is Marquette After Dark. I've been staying on lives longer lately. I don't know why. I gotta start talking with the chat more. This is fun. I hated that I got a lot of women waiting, but then needed a ride. Huh. With the sun beaming. You know, I like talking with the chat. For sure. So y'all can see more like personality and my true thoughts. Because there's a lot that I don't talk about because I've never asked the question, right? So like I tend to only answer the question. Sometimes I'll get like to the core. People will ask questions and they don't really know what the real problem is. So like I'll answer a question they didn't ask, but there's a lot of shit I can talk about that I don't because no one ever asked me the question to give me the opportunity to. So this format kind of facilitates that a bit. What you say, Hannah? Can I make a suggestion? Sure. That's how I found you talking to the chat. That's how these lives used to go. Yeah, Hannah know. Hannah was probably the first person to ever pop into the live. It's full of personality. And I used to just answer questions in the chat. And I think somebody requested a call one day, accidentally, and I took it. Hannah's the reason why I kept taking calls. She probably don't even know that. Because she was like, I took my first call and she was like, I like this format. I was like, okay, I'll do more of these. And we've been taking calls ever since. Miss when you could genuinely ask questions in the chat. Yeah, when it got kind of more popular, the chat got booming. So it was, I did like when the live was a bit more intimate, you know? I like knowing y'all. So you'll see like my mods did not start as mods. They just started as people in the chat who I talk to. There's people who I give shout outs to when I see them pop up like C. You know what I mean? But then there's like a lot of new faces. I don't really know them like that. And I want to know y'all, but I don't know if I have the capacity. Because we're only going to get bigger. Like when people stumble upon this live, they typically stay. Is what I've been experiencing. Would you reconcile with the man with the corn addiction? Has he tried to resolve the issue? And then why does he have the addiction? How often are y'all intimate? Corn addiction is normally a symptom of a deeper problem. It normally isn't a problem in and of itself. I won't say never, but he could have anxiety, and then that's how he kind of regulates himself, right? So you gotta get to the core of the issue to actually solve the problem. That's what's up, bro. Hold it down for the ball, brothers. Absolutely. I appreciate that you clearly speak from research. Lots of what you say, I've read in therapy books. Absolutely, man. I don't talk about anything that I've not really attempted to understand. I'll never just make shit up. But I do think that the difference with this live is I'm actually a strategist. Like I operated as a marketing strategist before I became a dating coach. A lot of other dating coaches are not strategists. So they may understand like attachment theory and stuff like that, but they can't give you a plan. Their advice isn't practical. They can't be like, do this, right? And I think the difference with this live is like, I can do both, right? I can clarify what's going on. Now that we've clarified, do this. And that's going to get you better results. There's no one else on TikTok that I've seen do that. My coach could do it, right? My coach is the reason why I became a coach. But on TikTok, these niggas, they don't. I pop in their lives. I see what they say. They understand, like, you know, the different theories and stuff like that to a degree. But when it comes to getting practical results, they get lost in the sauce. They get lost in the sauce. If I'm missing y'all's comments, apologies. Just know I cannot possibly keep up with everything that people are saying. For someone who does a lot of spiritual bypassing, just be avoidant, I need to know like the context. Spiritual bypassing is a real thing, but I need to know the context. You want to determine someone's avoidant, you understand the deactivating strategies, and then you look at the timing, right? So are they engaging in deactivating strategies around the time of closeness occurring or intimacy occurring, right? You can't just look at like a random behavior and be like, you're avoidant. So, no, maybe, but no. But if it's like, oh, he asked me to be his girlfriend Tuesday, and then Thursday he said he needs space. Okay, well then the timing of the events would suggest that he's avoidant, because he got activated on Tuesday. So Thursday is him trying to feel safe again. Can't stand the creators that focus on one thing, i.e. avoidant bashing. Yeah, that's the new thing. There is a creator, man. I wish I can shout him out. I don't know his name. Black guy wears a toboggan. He has a in-depth understanding of, his name starts with a J. Josiah or some shit. But he's an avoidant. And he has a very in-depth, nuanced understanding of attachment. I learn shit from him. Like, I watch him. I'm like, huh, interesting. It's not very practical what he says, but it's interesting. It's brain food. It's stimulating for a curious mind like mine. But he gives you like a more nuanced understanding of like what's going through an avoidance mind. He also correctly expresses how like anxious attachment is not better than being avoidantly attached. It's just they have better PR, right? Neither are good. But when you see people make videos about avoidance, it's like a bunch of anxiously attached people like shitting on the avoidant person. And it's like, I'm sure it was deserved, right? But you're also anxious, so I know you're not a joy to be with. Oh yeah, his name, Josiah, with the 7. Yeah. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, he posts good stuff. Definitely follow him, but if you're anxious, you're going to be triggered if you do follow him. He's definitely going to trigger you if you're anxious, for sure. Coach, I'm doing what you said. I'm staying even when I want to avoid and run. Hold on, Miss Lee. Who are you dating? I thought we had a connection. What's going on? So you shared that with me like I was going to celebrate. Like I was going to celebrate this new connection that you found. When I gave you that advice, the context was, when I come to California, don't run from me. Do you understand? Like, that was the context. It wasn't for you to cheat on me. Like, that's crazy. Maz, we might got to get her blocked. She just pissed me off. She just pissed me fully off. I don't like that at all. I got to get my lick back real quick. Who am I going to get my lick back with? I'm going through the chat. Prevo's gone, so I got to find somebody else. No, Prevo's still here. Okay. Prevo, I'm coming to Sweden. I've decided. I'm trying to heal for you, okay? Heal up, love. Heal up. I hope this live was recorded. Mods, are y'all getting the recordings over the past 2 days? I haven't had a live recording since the 24th. I think it's still due to the TikTok glitch, but it's annoying because I like to look back. Oh, Cece, let me grant you access real quick. I told you to remind me, Cece. You never did. You never did. Hold on. Manage moderator access. Okay. CC, I got the recordings turned on for you. But like Express, you got them from the past 2 days? Oh, my bad, CC. I must have forgot. But you got it now, though. So you got it now. Hannah, have you been getting them for the past 2 days? The recordings? Why am I not getting them? Is my shit not turned on? I'm lucky I have all my mods, man. All my mods they're all unique, and they all add different value in their own way. Let me go to my live recordings real quick. Share recordings with guests? No. Oh, see, it's supposed to like automatically give me a recording. I haven't gotten it in the last 2 days. That's weird. Huh. Yeah, my mods are dope. They all have different ways of going about things. Express like keeps me focused. Kiana and Hannah they're the hammers, right? You come over here acting up, they're gonna get you up out of here quick. You'll get muted, you'll get blocked. I was looking at my block list yesterday. I was like, I got a lot of people on this block list. It's Hannah and Kiana going at it. Jazz been MIA. She pops in from time to time. And then Cece with like the announcements. Getting them likes over 150K. I know Express did it today. She also does a good job with it. But Express is the carrot. Cece is the stick. So when Express comes up, it's like, yay, she's like, motivating you to get the likes up. But Cece is like, I got this belt on me. Don't make me take this belt off. And they fired that ass. They think I'm just blocking and muting for fun. No, when one of my mods blocks and mutes you, I give them that free range for a reason. I trust their judgment. So like if they take somebody down during the conversation, I don't question it, right? They normally can read my expression. If they block or mute you. And I know they do a good job because sometimes people will get blocked or muted and then they'll DM me and they'll just be acting a fool in the DMs. And I'm like, oh, you're batshit crazy because of like the message you just sent me, right? I had a woman write me like this fucking press release, this long ass message saying you're a bad leader because I'm blocked. You just didn't want me to expose. I'm like, expose what, sweetheart? I had to get him up out of here. I'm at 2%. I gotta get out of here, people, unfortunately. I'm at 2%. I'm gonna see y'all tonight, though. If I didn't get to your question, come at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Guys, if you want coaching, course, link in bio. Appreciate the mods, appreciate the chat, appreciate the questions. I will see y'all tonight. Y'all take care. Come on, man. Why is it recording not popping up? I want to see it recording.
Stop chasing us physically, mentally disabled. And stop chasing us physically, mentally disabled. I think of ways where we
So I just want to get the recording.